it in her face too though. Like I don't care nothing about y'all being black, big, none of this, brother. I can hoop, and it is what it is.
And what did it for him though is when you're a leader like that, you galvanize your troops.
Yeah, exactly.
And now they like, fuck, we ain't scared either.
The great white hope. Like, oh, you don't care they black? Us neither then. Like, lead the way.
But she was doing
It's only
shit
been
like,
a couple on play like that, man.
This motherfucker calm.
And like you were saying about Bama, like Carolina will beat you before the game starts.
Yeah.
Because they you fear them.
That's how they beat LSU. It was already done with.
But listen,
man, them folks.
That white girl don't give no fuck about none of y'all. She can come to the barbecue. Can't nobody else come. She don't care nothing about nothing. She might can fight
the grill too.
Yeah, she might can fight though. If they squared up, I got to see it first. Yeah. I don't know. Let me see something.
Bro, she cooked them folks, bro.
What is her name? Clark? I don't want to say what's her name? Caitlin Clark. Give you some respect. You are a dog, son.
Big dog.
Like,
see, but this is what happens when you get to the South Carolina problems, right? Because now they got a dynasty, right? They got a program. They done won 3 of them so far, or 2 or 3?
Yeah, 2.
2 or they
and this is gonna be the first undefeated one too.
Yeah, they're starting to build a dynasty over there, right? They got a great program. So this is the type of stuff that happens when you win championships back to back, or you get in that fight. Like when them tax dollars start to change, you got to know how to finish the season unique, each one of them.
Right.
Like we didn't win it my sophomore year, and it felt stupid to us to even watch the game, to watch our coach Nick Saban host the national championship game.
Yeah.
And Auburn and Oregon playing. It just looked weird as hell. Like what the hell is going on? Yeah. Like to see that and to hear the fans booing him, talking shit to him, like it was just different, bro. Like it was a disrespect for us. So that next year, like that whole, like from that day on, bro, I made sure that we was on top of everything.
But do you think South Carolina gonna be able to bounce back like that? Like, or do you think that's gonna be the crushing end of a dynasty?
That was the end of it. That was the end of it.
I don't see that.
I'm gonna tell you why.
They still stacked now. They gonna lose the center number 4. I wish I knew y'all. I'm sorry to female basketball because I don't want to just say numbers but she cold. She is gone. But they do have
they got
good
the 6'7" girl too.
Yeah, they do got a good stable there.
Yeah, but
I just felt like that was a crushing loss. I don't know if they're gonna be able to bounce back.
They're not coming back, bro. I don't think they're gonna.
So tell me this: do you think UConn ever bounce back?
The females?
Yeah.
They never went nowhere. South Carolina just emerged.
They haven't won in 7 years. It's been 7 years.
Yeah, South Carolina emerged, but they still here every year. They still in the Elite 8, Final 4 every year. They good still dogs. Yeah, it's just that South Carolina
classes too.
Yeah, somebody finally came. A coach finally came that was able to gather all the great female black talent and put them on one team.
Right. And first of all, UConn had overexceeded. How many championships you gonna win with white girls and mixed girls? Like they outdid themselves with that.
They really did.
Shout out to that. They found every white cold player and every mixed girl they could find.
Yeah, for sure.
South Carolina had to go get some dogs from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they was 36-0. Okay, let me ask you this. I don't want to get into your career just yet, but you played on an undefeated team, right? Is there pressure every single game to stay undefeated? Like, do you lose track of the championship and focus more on the record? Like, does the undefeated thing add more to the table than just you being a good team, being 12-1? Like, because Iowa was 30-6. Does the losses kind of help in a way? Like, there's no pressure to maintain perfection.
No, to me, well, and the coach that I played for, like he respects perfection.
Right.
He deserves it. Like, and he gets it out of us on a different level. Like he's harder on our coaches than he was us. Yeah. And so he would cuss the hell out of like a grown ass man. And the first time I seen that, I was just like, bro, you gonna let him talk to you like that?
I was gonna say, man, Nick can't cuss me out.
Man, listen, bro. But he does it in a way to where he's pushing you to get better.
But you gotta say, you gotta apologize in front of these kids after you cuss me out.
That ain't gonna happen.
I'm gonna be a war eagle.
Nick gonna tell you. But that is the difference from being a war eagle and not winning national championships and going somewhere with Nick. You come to get a whole different pedigree. Yeah. I mean, all them coaches, like I tell folks all the time, I say, man, it's nobody doing it like Nick, not even Bill Bryant. Because you got coaches are coming through, not just players.
Hold on. Let's start the pod. I'm not going to let you pull me. You pulling me in. I want to have this debate so bad.
It's different,
I think Nick the devil. You know what I mean? I like Nick, but we're going to get into it. First of all, welcome to Anxiety Issues Podcast. I am Adam 12 Taylor here with my brother Boneface of Boneface Inc. and legendary Trent Richardson. This is how I know you're a legend. First of all, I've been trying to get a daytime podcast ever since we got started, and we always busy. I mean, it's children. I got to spend time with the wife. I got a tattoo appointment. God did. I got to go pray today. Say Trent coming. Listen, I was looking at the group chat yesterday. They was like, "Hey, Trent talking about he need to get in before he go out of town. Y'all want to do what time?" Motherfuckers like anytime. I looked at that shit like, the fuck? Ain't nobody got nothing to do now? No, whenever he can get in there. I said, man, this is crazy. I can't wait till I get some clout. But I will say this too, though. Maybe because two gentlemen, I know both of y'all come from humble beginnings, right? And y'all managed to get some money. I ain't gonna pocket watch y'all, but I'm sure y'all doing pretty good. You know what I mean? I'm not nearly as well, but I ain't broke either.
Yeah.
But every summer, like it's getting a little hot outside, and I just pulled up to the store to grab all this stuff, and I think about this every summer. I am so glad that I am not no AC in the car broke no more.
Right.
I look at that every time, and I just like, bro, I am so glad I don't have to experience that no more. I don't think I can handle that. Where would you want to go if your AC didn't work? I don't want to go nowhere.
In the house.
I'm not going nowhere.
I'm in the house.
When I see that look, everybody looked so depressed in the summertime in Florida when your AC in your car don't work.
And this supposed to be the happy time of the year.
Man.
This shit is miserable for a lot of people.
I can't see it. And they always smoking too. I don't know why you get smoking and it's that hot, but
Yeah. I went
that's good
through
insight
that.
to have though. That's
Yeah.
good. That's like you got that's good foresight to have to be able to like just appreciate some shit. Just look at the. I was talking about this earlier, like the small wins, bro. You got to think about the small wins. Somebody asked me like, bro, when your kids are like, when you feel like they're underachieving or overachieving or whatever, what I say, I always look for the small wins. Right. Like even with my sons, I got 2 boys, right? And regardless of what they become in life, right? The small wins for me is like, damn, bro, they like women in a time like this, right?
Yeah.
So somebody said, well, what if one of them? Hold on, let me finish. Because bro, that's what you gotta be grateful for nowadays. That's something you gotta be grateful that your son is a son nowadays. You feel me? Like sometimes your son ain't a son. Sometimes your son is a daughter. You feel me? I'm grateful for that, and that's just for my own personal, personal belief system, right? But then they also asked me, the question asked was like, well, what if your son wasn't a son? What if your son didn't like men and didn't like women and he liked men, right?
Yeah.
I said my small win would be like, damn, at least it's a black dude. You feel me? Right. So it's just like you gotta look for the small wins and everything, bro. And I just that's looking for the small wins. It's like, damn, I ain't got it how I want it, but I ain't no AC, bro. You feel me?
I feel you though.
You gotta find the small wins, bro.
I don't know how you tie that into everything.
I do tie it in.
I used to think
I didn't tie it in everything, but this was a conversation that was brought up. So I'm just going with the conversation.
I used to feel like he was overly with the gay agenda in movies, and then I watched something on HBO Max called His Dark Materials. I'm into all that Harry Potter weird shit, right?
Yeah.
And they had a gay angel. I was like, I think that nigga bone right. And they didn't have to make a gay angel.
They had a gay angel?
Yeah. He had another. I was like, bro, it's too far. Like I'm okay with it. Like you didn't have to do that, bro.
And that'd be my thing, is just like the unnecessary placement of it. My thing is like in a space where sexuality didn't even matter, you made it matter.
Right.
That's my problem, bro. It's never my problem on some regular shit.
Yeah. And you right though.
But it's even like this. Like what's regular nowadays? Like it's that. Yeah, like that's like even with cartoons, like even with
it didn't have to be there.
Yeah, it didn't have to be there though, bro.
I'm a gay ally. I like that about myself though. But it was like that when we was kids though. Was Bugs Bunny gay or straight?
It was straight.
Was Mickey Mouse gay or straight?
Straight.
How you know these? How you know what they were? They had girlfriends, right?
They had girlfriends.
Kermit the Frog dated Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
Sexuality was always in there. We just didn't pay no attention because it was ours. So it just seemed like you know what I mean? They won't pay attention either because it's theirs, but we see it. When you see Donald or Bert and Ernie was supposed to be gay, we just didn't care nothing about that because there was enough heterosexual characters, though. You feel me? But when they see it, like, you know what I mean? It's just their sexuality. So it's always been in all of our fairy tales. It was always Prince Charming and Cinderella, and you get what I'm saying? So,
but what are you teaching our kids?
It's not what they teaching them, it's what they are.
And
like, if we talk about, like,
you
black...
talking about Bert and Ernie, I mean, that's Sesame Street, right? Mm-hmm. Sesame Street was made to teach the black kids who didn't have the what was I was reading it. Sesame Street was made to teach the black kids who didn't have the school books and who didn't have the stuff at home. Mm-hmm. So like if you're teaching that early for kids who don't have a school book and don't know how to read, or you trying to teach these kids how to read, so what else are you teaching these kids behind the scenes? You get what I'm saying?
But they already gay. They already gay. I mean, if your kid is gay,
This is what we gonna do. This is what we always disagree at.
So your kid just come out gay?
Yes. You know you can't make your kid gay. Nothing in your life happened made you straight. You just was straight. Nothing in your life happened.
So you come out with a gay gene?
Yes, you were gay. Listen, people are born bipolar. People are born depressed. People are born schizophrenic, and you are born gay. You cannot help how your wires are made up. It's nothing that happens to you. Now, can something traumatic happen to you, like molestation and stuff that throw you off? Sure, like those are outliers. I'm not talking about those because you could be a straight kid and be molested. You can't do nothing if a man molests you, and that could throw you off. Mm-hmm. Trauma can affect you in any kind of way. You go to war, trauma happens. You could be a same person, experience trauma, and you're never the same. So I'm not talking about traumatic experiences. But there are majority of people who are gay, nothing happened to them. Like, they weren't touched. I'm just gay.
Yeah, and I think my thing with it is that, like, I me and you feel the same. But anyway, yeah. But what I was gonna say is, he's like, what my issue with it is this though. Yes, we knew Bugs Bunny was straight because he had a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. We knew Mickey was straight because he had a girlfriend. But I will my debate with that and my problem with that is that even though it was there, it was not like aggressive. You feel me? Yeah. It was like a thing that was like my thing is like you may see Bugs Bunny flirt a little bit or Mickey Mouse flirt a little bit, but it wasn't over the top. Like, bro, they got books with niggas jacking each other off in school.
Yeah, but okay,
like, bro, that's over the top.
They had a rapist skunk. Peppy was a rapist.
Yeah, but we
like she told him no every time, and he ain't care nothing about none of that.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
And we thought it was so funny. But like, grab her again. I don't care if she say no.
But it's wild as fuck because that's the one that always stand out to everybody because it was aggressive. Mm-hmm. It was aggressive. He was the most aggressive cartoon character probably in history. You feel me? So that's my thing is like with the agenda is like I don't have problems when I like see like some shit in a cartoon where it's just two and it's like obviously like Bert and Ernie was like obviously a thing that we just never paid attention to because we just never paid attention to it. But it's like damn, like you gonna make them jack them off?
Yeah, they like, go. Come on, bro. Yeah, they go.
So even with that Bert and Ernie stuff, like we was never taught that.
Right, but my thing is like that's the beauty in it is that we were never taught any of this. It's just in front of us. Just like Mickey and Minnie was just in front of us. You feel me? Yeah. Big Bugs Bunny and Lola was just in front of us. Bert and Ernie was just in front of us. It's just when you try to make it a thing that we're like, hey, you know they gay, right? Like it's like you got to point it out and like I'm like goddamn, bro, like relax, bro.
Like I think that's a little different, man, because you talking about, and
I feel
I'm not disagreeing with you saying, but I disagree because I feel like that stuff is taught. Like whether it is the internet, whether it is you done seen something, and you done been around some or somebody who's talking on some other stuff. Like I was in the bathroom the other day at an AU tournament, right? And it made me so mad, man. And I was listening to these kids, bro, and these young kids said, "Man, let me go in here and wrap the toilet for you." You know, using there trying to use the restroom. I guess this might have been his little brother or somebody. Yeah. And so the kids say, "Let's play the booty monster like Dad do."
Right.
Man, I had to get up out of there, bro.
Let's play the
but listen, yeah, understand that. But that, but
like that's taught.
No, listen. I want you to understand that those are two separate things we're talking about. One is being your sexuality. That is molestation. Those are two different things. That kid could very well be straight and his dad is a molester. His dad is a creep. Mm-hmm. So that's an isolated incident. You can't tie that into every human being that is gay. That is an issue in itself. That's some weird molestation. Somebody need to put his ass in jail for doing that to that little boy. And that can, yes, throw him off. That little boy may not very well be gay. He just got a creepy ass daddy who forcing some weird shit on him.
So you telling me kids, babies come out?
Okay, because let me ask you something though. Okay, well fuck it. We on the pod. Nothing happened to you as far as molestation or nothing as a kid, right? Okay, cool. Then what made you straight? A woman didn't do nothing to you as a kid, right? No grown woman came and touched you, no whatever. What made you straight in your opinion? Since they can be taught to be gay, what taught you to be straight?
So this is what my uncle taught me, right? And I was 8
years old. Mm-hmm.
And it was a flip. It was, we on the podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm grown.
Yeah.
It was a flip. My uncle told me I was gonna be gay. I was gonna do this.
But that's wild.
But it's okay, cool. You get what I'm saying?
Listen, but understand.
You either gonna do this or you gonna be gay.
So you was in there watching the flipper at 8. That's wild. I want people knowing, but
Down the street.
But these ain't normal. Now I feel you. Though. I just want people to know, like, most people ain't brought up like that, though, right?
I know. I mean, we was at a different time.
Yeah,
I'm too.
So we using these examples like that's inappropriate even for a straight kid. You get what I'm saying?
I'll give you a better argument than that, though, because I do believe it's influence too. That's just my belief.
Yeah, I believe that.
Just like we just talked about earlier, we all watched cartoons. We seen Bugs Bunny with Lola. We seen Mickey with Minnie. You feel me? We seen our parents, of course. That was an example. A man with a woman.
Some of us grew up single.
Some of us did. You feel me? But for the most part, in a basic structure, that's what we seen. And even if our parents didn't have our father, they had somebody. Yeah, it was a man of some sort in the house.
And there are many gay children who grew up with mom and dad.
There are. But what I'm just saying is that there can be influence there, and sometimes it cannot affect you. You feel me? Just like you can be a son with a hardworking dad, and you just not influenced by that. You still a bum ass jit. You feel me?
Right.
So it's just like sometimes we don't always take the influence, but for the most part, it's there. It's just whether you receive it or not, because there's other influences as well.
And then you I was watching. I start. I don't know why I started doing this. I started watching Empire again.
Right.
So Jamal,
I
don't know why I started doing this.
I don't know. I know why you watched it, but again, I don't know why you watched it again either. Yeah.
I started watching it again, and Jamal dressed as a female, and he had seen his mom with all these scarves on, and he seen her with these heels and stuff like. If you ever seen the show, and so Lucius came over there like, "Hey, what the hell is wrong with you?" Know what I'm saying? Like. That's nothing he taught him, but from him seeing his mom dressed like that.
Facts. But I do believe to speak to that, and I don't want to. We got Trent on here, I don't want to spend all on
waste too much time, right?
Yeah, but I do believe that you can be influenced in that way, but it doesn't affect your sexuality. Meaning, I think that there's a lot of dudes who dress like us, masculine like us, but they're emotional like women because you're raised by a woman. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I do believe that if you just have female energy in your life, that can affect you. If you have gay energy in your life, but it won't make you gay. There are some soft, feminine, straight dudes out here because they was raised by a woman. Yeah. You feel me? It influences the way they dress and everything, but they still straight. But I want to ask y'all this, and I'm gone. I'm done with it. We're moving on off this subject. Why is it so hard, just in general, to accept that maybe you could be born gay? Why is it like, nah, ain't no way?
Just because I just don't believe you can. I believe it's influence, and I don't think we're born anything, and that's just my opinion and my viewpoint. But that's why it's like when you say that, I'm not wanting to argue with that. I'm just saying that there are other ways that people arrive there. You feel me? Yeah. Maybe you can be born there. You feel me? But I do believe that there's some people who it was influence as well. So it's like I'm not in that position to know. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not wired that way. So I don't know. So that's why I say it would be best. It would be beautiful if we could have not even just one guest, maybe two guests, and do it a few times because. Like one person doesn't speak for everybody. Facts. You can't bring one black person on here and say, "Tell us about black people." You don't know about all black people. You just have to have consistent guests like that. And that's what's beautiful about our society, though, is that we do get to rub shoulders with a bunch of people who are gay or trans or whatever. You feel me? You get to rub shoulders with these people, and in those spaces, that's why I say I'm definitely not like homophobic at all, because in those spaces. I want to take advantage of being able to have dialogue and conversation with those people. Learn. You feel me? And it's not to judge you or to push my beliefs on you. It's more so to get understanding because I'm just thinking from an ignorant space. Right. You feel me? So anything I say is just my opinion. It could sound ignorant to somebody who is actually in that space. Right. You feel me? So, but that's just my belief is that I don't believe you can be born anything. I don't believe you're born bad, good, or anything. I think everything is just influence. So to the other side of that, I'm not going to argue with that.
I agree with everything that he said with that, man. Like I don't believe you're born anything, but I think that it is definitely influence. Like even for me, like I seen my brothers love on women. I seen my mom love on men. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I knew, and so like it was influence from the jump. Like even like now, I watch my youngest son. I think he might have been 3 or 4 at the time. But we was at the basketball game and my daughter was playing and it was another little girl over there. He was dancing in front of us. So I'm like, okay, you like females. Yeah, you like females. Okay, I get it. And this ain't nothing I done put in front of him, but he done seen me with different women. You know what I'm saying? He done seen me with females. Right. And so, okay, you get it. know what I'm saying? I get it. This is what you like. Okay, cool.
Gotcha.
But I think that you can never be born anything.
Yeah, and I always argue that because my stance is that I don't think we understand how early influence takes place. We like to think about when we see somebody that's a year old or 2 year old, but we're sponges out the womb.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like immediately, because a baby is more active and paying attention and thinking because you're in a foreign space. When I come into this world, I'm grabbing and reaching at everything. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So when you say be born, I don't think this is where I do agree with you at, right? Be born, right? When I'm out the womb, right? As soon as I touch this realm, right? Everything around me is influencing me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm born, so I don't think when you say be born, I agree with that, but I don't agree with that from like a genetic standpoint. I think it's just we don't understand how soon influence takes place, right. And I think we're consuming more as soon as we get here. It's like we're reaching at everything when we're a baby. It's like everything is a mystery, and that's why I love kids, is because kids have a neutral view on everything. Their opinions and views aren't influenced by anything. And we can learn more from kids than we can from adults because kids are neutral most of the time. Yeah. You feel me?
And on a funny note, I mean, I don't think nobody come out the womb and be like, ooh, I don't want to be getting that. Like, I just spent 9 months in there. I don't want to touch that again. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just can't see nobody, no man, I'll be like, nah,
but
of
course, I don't want to be in there.
I just can't, bro. Like, that's it on the funny note.
I don't want to be in that again.
Like, I can't go back to one of those.
I can't go back to one of those.
Enough.
I want to have my own. Like, you know, I can't.
Oh shit!
I want to have my own. Like I don't feel like whatever
you immediately want to go back in that.
Yeah, like whatever you believe in, Buddha, Allah.
Good too, though.
There you go.
I wouldn't know. Anyway, but and just because I know what's coming, understand that it's just differences of opinion. That's what we do on this show. So don't come in there with no homophobic nothing. Homophobia and racism is the treatment of someone. I could feel some kind of way about your sexuality. I can disagree with your race and still not be racist or homophobic. I'm not going to treat you any differently. I know nobody on the show, whether how we feel about gay or feel about racism. There might be a white person who disagree with black people. That don't make them racist. That just disagree with your culture.
Right. Yeah, right.
I won't treat you no differently. I still look at you the same and judge you on your own merit, but that doesn't make me racist. So it's the same with homophobia, because they quick to jump on, oh, you talking about gay. No, I'm just talking about the things I don't understand. I would love for you to come on and address that and have the conversations, and that's how we all bond.
We got to stop running to that, though, because what that does, though, is it prevents us from being able to have dialogue. It's like right off the rip, as soon as I say something that you don't agree with, now you feel like I don't like it.
Homophobic, get him out of here.
I'm like, nah, bro, I want to have a conversation. Yeah, that's why we would love to have a racist on, or we would love to have somebody that disagrees with the culture on and not necessarily be deemed as racist, or you feel me? Like we just gonna have a conversation.
And the biggest thing is like people, you got to realize like we have seen the world at a different view. Like you with your podcast, I got my own podcast, but we all own different businesses.
Right.
And so with that, like one of my best friends is a gay guy. And he's white, but he have helped me out in a way, and that I can never repay him.
Right. And understanding
and never approached me like that. I understood what bro was. He did his thing. That ain't had nothing to do with me. But I knew how to protect him. He knew how to protect me when it came to certain stuff.
Right.
And so like we just wanna keep our minds open. We want to learn, like, because these conversations about racism that if people would have been had, it wouldn't be no racism. Because I feel like you put kids around the table, right? You put them like newborns or 30 days old, whatever. They're gonna sit down and play. White, black, yellow, purple, blue, Mexican, whatever. They're gonna play. Now, for them to get outside that box and go home and get back in that circle and be like, oh, I don't want to be around that black baby.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
don't want to be around that.
It's 1,000%.
Talk.
It's talk. It's 1,000% talk. And I do believe this, though. I do believe that people and things are tribal by nature. You feel me? Like, so if I see something that looks like me, and that's the beauty. That's what mirrors fucked us up at, because we never knew what we were, what we looked like. We just see from the inside out. Right. You feel me? But once you identify what you are, and then you see something that looks like you feel me? Like two dogs don't know. This dog don't, like a dog don't see a mirror. It just understands that you look, you smell, like it's like we we on the same frequency for the most part. So you can put a pit bull with a chihuahua, and it's just they still are like species. But if you put a dog with a cat, it's a little different. You feel me? Because we can tell your makeup is different just based around. You feel me? Yeah. So
other races smell different too.
Yeah, but it's like things are tribal by nature, bro, and you're just gonna go where you're comfortable and where you feel safe, but that don't necessarily make you racist.
I didn't know you had a podcast too, man. Are you familiar with this one? Have you ever watched this one?
Shoot, I tried to call in one day. I love this show, man. Yeah, man, I definitely like to do something together, man. It's actually called The Ropes with TR3, and it's me, Reggie Ragland, and we do a second part of it that's away from our radio show. That's the radio show part. It's called Hometown Heroes.
Gotcha.
And it's me, Reggie Ragland, Jermaine Funnyman, the comedian, Antonio Langham, and Mike McCoy. And we just sit around, we chop it up, man. We had difficult conversations. We had locker room talk, but we don't just talk sport. We talk about everything, man. Like I hate to keep myself in the corner of just sports, and that's something I learned from bro, man. We was sitting there. We was talking about starting a podcast a long time ago. Him and Mike Bless.
That'd have been dope.
Yeah, we were talking about doing that a long time ago, man.
We actually had set up for it.
Yeah, we actually had set up for it when podcasts had just started jumping off. But we wanted to be able to talk from a different point of view, because what I believe about tattoos is not what I've done. You get what I'm saying? Like what I know. Like I ain't never sat down and drew nobody a tattoo. Most time when bro do my tattoos, and to be quite frank, in Pensacola, he's probably the only one has ever done my tattoos, other than the ones I got in Bama by one other guy. But to be real about it, like I can't sit up there. Most time I just tell bro, like, bro, put what you want to put on there. Like, you got it. Like, because he know, like, he's the professional in there. Like, I give him my idea what I want, or, and I just tell him take it from there. You know what I'm saying? So, but, like, even with acting, like, I can't sit up there and be like, Mike, you ain't doing this right with acting, or even with your podcast, with the issues that you talk about.
Right.
Like, I can't sit up there and say, well, man, you ain't talking about this the right way, because I haven't learned that yet, or I haven't been in that room. I always tell folks all the time, like, when it came to playing sports, if you ain't played running back, you can't coach me. And I'm not being... Not trying to be not open-minded about it,
I can't wait.
But it's just like, I need you to be able to sit there and say, you took that lick, or you took that cut, or you missed that block. Like, I want to be able to say, like, if you ain't been in that position, I just can't see you. If you're a receiver coach, you're a receiver coach. If you play receiver, you play receiver. You ain't play running back.
All right, listen, I'm gonna pause you because I'm coming straight back to that. That's a conversation I love to have too. But we do talk about things outside of sports, so I'm glad you brought this up. We do a thing called anonymous anxiety. We typically get into relationship debates on here, so I love when I find a good one, and I just ask y'all opinion on it, okay? How y'all feel, all right? Cool. This one is called Mirror Image, right? Girl says, why am I unhappy? Some background. I'm a nurse practitioner in Nashville, Tennessee. I make about $170K a year, and I'm 32 years old. Very into fitness and keeping my body above standard. I also have no kids and no crazy ex lurking. My past 2 relationships were men who made less than me, about $100K less. It's not that these men were bad or treated me awful. I didn't feel like a woman being that much more financially stable than my partner. All the vacations, major purchases like homes and vehicles came down to me because ultimately I would bear majority of the financial responsibility. The dynamic either became too much for me or too much for them, causing us to split. Fast forward about a year, I met a guy with his own roofing company. He makes around $2 million a year, give or take. He's an extremely traditional guy who believes a man should always pay and provide. Sounds like just what I'm looking for. 2 years in, I find myself unhappy and depressed at times. He takes care of everything and at the most allows me to pay for dinner maybe once or twice a month. The issue is I feel like I have no purpose in my relationship. I wanted a career to bring a value to my future marriage, but I feel like I'm just here as an object of his sexual pleasure only. Honestly, I feel like a glorified prostitute at this point. I asked him, could we look into buying a house together? He said, sure. But when I asked him, could I pay the mortgage at least half the time, he said, absolutely not. Don't get me wrong. He respects me and spoils me, but I have no voice. How can I speak on things or make decisions when I'm responsible for absolutely nothing? I miss the way it was before, and I'm sorry I made my past lovers feel this way now. What's wrong with me? Am I ungrateful, just can't be satisfied, or is this understandable? What's the point of making money if you can't spend it on necessity? I did not work this hard to just come home, lay on my back, and mother his children.
You ready for me?
Whoever, yeah.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you get too far outside of what you're designed to do. When you move too far outside of womanhood. When you started this, right, she talked about how she made more than the men that she dated, and they were kind of felt inferior in this sense because like they were decent dudes, but they didn't make enough.
Right.
So I think we have to go back to a place of more so like we get too far away from being primal in relationships, and we start basing our relationships on all of these new things that the world bases relationships on. So it's just like all she's talking about is finances, and I think her money was her power for so long that when she met somebody that had money, she no longer had no power. And you had no power because you never learned how to live in your feminine. You feel me? Your feminine is where your power lives. You feel me? So if you're a woman out there and you listening to this, this is what we talk about with femininity and submissiveness and all of these things. All of these things give you power. You feel me? But if you are practicing the things that a man practices, and you are practicing in the field where a man is gaining, where his purpose is, right. You feel me? When you come into a real man's life that is living in his purpose, and if you have been living in his purpose, then you have no purpose. You feel me? You will be a sexual object.
Right.
You will be a thing to me because you present nothing else. But when you come into a situation to where I'm living in my purpose and you are in your purpose of being feminine, you have something that I need now. You have something that everything that I'm doing cannot provide. My money can't buy what you have. So you become like a necessity, something right. I need. You feel me? So when you come into my life and you occupying space, you feel me? It's like I respect you and I move a certain type of way because you're something I need. You're not something that I can do without. But it was like almost like that's all she had was her career, her money, and that's what. And it's just like, bro, nowhere in that did you mention anything about like the things that are important to us.
Yeah.
You feel me? She didn't mention anything about herself that's important to me. Everything she said about herself, I don't care about.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's my thing. It's like you just when you learn how to be in your feminine, bro. That's a power that money can't buy. That's something that can't be replaced in a man's life, and that's something we look for ultimately in a woman. Is just a woman that knows how to be a woman, bro. And that's not no male chauvinist shit. It's not no shit to where it's just like stay in your place because we all. And I hate when people say that because we have a place.
We do have a place.
We all have a place.
Everybody
so when somebody tells you to stay in your place, it's not a bad thing.
Right.
You feel me? I need to stay in my fucking place. You feel me? Like if there's something that you have a strength in and it's something that you naturally are designed to do, I need to stay in my place. If you're trying to nurture our children, if you're in a space to where you're doing something that requires compassion and a feminine touch, it's on me to shut up and be quiet and stay in my place. And if I'm in a position where I'm doing something that requires the things that a man needs to do or that a man is designed to do, you have to stay in your place. It's just like when what your mama used to tell you when she couldn't control you.
Stay in the child's place.
What she used to tell you when you was acting out though, and she couldn't do nothing with you at the time.
They always figured out something to do with me.
Tell your dad.
I'm gonna tell your dad.
I'm gonna tell your daddy.
You
feel me? And then when you made a certain play with your daddy that didn't move right, sit right with him, and it was something that was your mother's field, he would say, "I'm gonna tell your mama."
Right.
You feel me? So it was just like you. It's like, bro, we
daddy knew,
that.
like, hey, you ask your daddy something, he be like, go ask your mama, because he already know.
Because he already know that's her space.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask your mama something, she'll tell you, go ask your daddy. You feel me?
Right.
So it's just like, bro, like we missing that. It's like with everybody trying to erase gender roles, and this is what you end up with. When you try to erase gender roles, you end up in a space where you feel like you're missing something no matter what you do. Because we're primal before we're anything, bro.
Right.
And it's like people are trying to erase the primal instincts and the primal urges that we have. You got women right now that we have these arguments all the time to where you will tell a woman something the way a man is and the way something a man does, and the first thing they say is, what if we do it? I'm like, you're going to be mad uncomfortable because it's not designed for you to do.
Facts.
But you feel me? So stop trying to compare yourself to men when I'm talking about men, because I'm not going to compare myself to women when you're talking about women. That's some whole shit on my part.
It'd be an automatic loss for them, and they don't even realize it. What if I fucked everybody? Bitch, then good.
Right.
Then we all get some pussy.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Great. Do it.
And you lose.
Yeah, facts. Great. Let's all share you.
Yeah. So I just like, bro, like, so it's just that. That's why it's important for women to just understand like what your true power is. Mm-hmm. We had that podcast where I was just like, the greatest ability a woman was ever given was to be able to bring life into this world. And motherfuckers want to argue that. And I'm just like, bro, what world do we live in?
Nah, but what else do you do? Give me one better than that.
Right. And it's just like, nah, we have an opinion and we have. I'm like, yeah, you do, but that's not greater than that.
I'm a firefighter, bitch. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Man ass job, bitch.
It just blow me, bro. Like, so just that's all it is, though, bro. Is that she didn't mention anything that had anything to do with being a woman. It was just like, you a man dating men. What do you expect?
Yeah. What you got?
I agree, bro. Like, she ain't said nothing to be like, well, she bad. Like, you done talk about your pockets, but now you can get to a point to where, nobody needs your pockets or needs you to go half with this or to pay this month's rent. And that's probably how bro, was raised. Right. And so with that, like he's cool with his masculine, with his being a man. Like, he know his space. He know how he was raised. He know he was taught. He know what a man looked like, far as what our quote unquote man's supposed to look like to the world. He's taking care of the house. You don't have to come out your pocket. Let's go take a trip. Do something with that. Right. Let's let you plan that, or let you know what I'm saying. You can keep yours. You can build up. We can start something else. You can have something put up for us. Like, when I think about a woman, bro, like, I just can't. Your pockets ain't gonna never be able to do nothing.
I was just gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you this, right? You're a very wealthy man, right? So, what can a woman offer you, bro? Like what's the most important thing to a man in your position from a woman?
Man, for real, bro. Like, that intimate role, like, it means a lot. And I'm not just talking about sex. Like, our moments that we have together, don't have to be put on the internet, because you're not showing the world what we had to go through to get to that point. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't make something a Instagram post picture when they don't know, like, hey, we went through this, we banged our heads on this, and this is my intimate moment with you. So don't have to share it. Like, they ain't sharing their stuff with us. I ain't sharing my intimate moments with, like, even my kids. Like, bro, like, even if you look at my stuff now, it ain't nothing but my kids or business opportunities. If it ain't that, like, I'm not posting it. Like, I can't hit live on something that I know that's going to probably get me in trouble or put me in a situation to where my folks don't need to be seen on this. Right. Or I don't need to be seen at this. Like, I don't post everything at the chill spot. Like, I don't. Like, if I'm posting something, or if I'm going live, it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be at the podcast, the radio station, or at the kids' game or something like that, helping them grow. And so for me, like, my thing is for a woman, bro. Like, I need you to show me your beauty inside. I don't want to see everything on the outside, because I know how you look on the outside. But when you take off the makeup, hell, 9 times out of 10, I really don't want you to be able to. I need to see the beauty without the makeup. Right. Like, that's another question I get all the time, and I ask females this all the time. Like, when have a man ever been like, well, damn, she ain't got lashes on, I don't like her.
We don't care about that. I say that all the time.
We don't care about none of that. Like, you competing against yourself.
They be trying to put the BBLs on us, like we do it because of y'all. Like, bro, we don't. But we like to live. Surgery has we like, yeah, we like everything. Like, we don't give a damn about none of that extra shit. It's somebody out here for you, baby. No matter what you got going on.
I need this. If you ain't got that, like, if I have a bad day, if I go down, if something happened to me, if you can't think without me, if you can't raise that household without me, because I got 4 kids, 2 girls, 2 boys. Yeah. Like, if you can't control that, like, if I can't sit there and say, go ask your mama, or go ask your stepmama, or go ask such and such, like, I can't.
You know what's funny? All that lead to the one thing that we say, that's the only requirement men have for women, and it's priceless, though. It sounds so simple to them. They want to do so much more, but all that equals peace. Like, for a man, you deal with so much mental stress, whether it's life, the stuff you want to accomplish, the shit you want to be responsible for, your children, your past mistakes. You're dealing with so much as a man. The only thing, and it is priceless, bro. If you find a woman that gives you peace, I can never replace you. And that's what all that equals up to, is peace. That's it.
And I was just about to say that. But my thing is with women, like, when we say stuff like this, or even the conversation that you were just having, like, we'll say, what we need, or if a woman asks what we need, or, a woman asks, how we're doing, and you say this, but what if I do it? That's the conversation we'll get back. Like, you just, like, this wasn't even about you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just asked me, or we're talking about my feelings. Like, women act like men don't have feelings. And I tell women all the time, like, men might be some of the most emotional creatures in this world. Right. Because a lot of them are raised in a single parent house with a mom.
Yeah. Even regardless of the upbringing, I think we are. I was just having this argument.
Even without
argument yesterday. I was telling somebody that men are more compassionate than women. You feel me? Men care more than women. We care more.
I'm glad you just said that.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's why I said, yeah, we care more. And they were just like, well, what you mean we care more? I was like, we care more, bro. Like I said, most men don't even have the ability to carry on a lie with y'all. Like, you feel me? Like, if you look at your man most of the time, if he love you and you be like, hey, babe, did you do it? And he lie, and you look at him and he sees that you're hurt about it and you ask again, most of the time, you're going to get the truth. But the difference between women is you can sit with them and ask
straight
them,
face.
What Chris Rock say? Men tell the type of lies like, I was at Tony's house. Women tell the type of lies like, it's your baby. Right. You feel me? It's just like, it's just like they colder than us, bro. And it's that they have the ability.
The simplest way is that we care more because there's very little benefits to the things we engage in. When you get into a relationship, there's no benefit to me being here. I just care.
I just care.
When you're in a relationship, there are benefits to you being here. The world is set up. The world is so set up for you that it's benefits to you leaving.
Yeah.
There's nothing for us though. So we be in something just for strictly caring. I
don't get shit out of it.
Don't get nothing out of it. I lose when you take on a woman, and it's hard for them to hear too. I lose something.
Yeah.
It is a negative in my bank account. It is a negative in my time. It is a negative in my opinion. It all goes away. I'm just here because I care.
There's no such thing as giving without losing something. It's like when I'm giving something, I'm giving something. I'm giving a part of myself. And I think they give a lot too, but I think they give, like you say, as a response of receiving.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like I'm giving because I get. But there's very few situations I've been in where a woman just poured and didn't receive anything.
That don't hardly exist. But to get back to this lady thing, I'm gonna flip the question on y'all real quick, and then I'll address her before we get out of here. What is your opinion on the man who now expects women to make some money? I know I've met a lot of people, a lot of men now who say, I don't want no woman without no job. I don't want a woman who don't make no money. Show me you got your own ambition. Show me I want a woman to pay some of the bills. What are your opinion on them?
And this is why I get on their head. I'm going to get on their head the same way I got on women's head. You need to learn to be in your masculine just like women need to learn to be in their feminine. And then within your masculine, nobody fucking takes care of you. When we sit here and talk about men give and get nothing, that's the role of a man. You feel me? Right. So stop being a bitch and stop complaining about what you don't get because you're not supposed to get shit. It's your job to give. You're designed to give. You're designed to serve. You're designed to win. And all of the things that you're receiving in return from a woman in her essence are your fucking reward for giving. You feel me? That's why we are so willing to give, because if we can find a woman in her essence, everything we get in return is worth everything that we're giving. It's an even trade. It's an even trade, because a woman in her essence is priceless. A woman that brings you peace is priceless, because like you say, if I ain't got no AC hot money and I had a woman riding with me that was down, that brought me peace, we're going to be hot together and we're going to be okay. Right. You feel what I'm saying? But when I got to take that ride by myself, that's a whole different ride. I'm telling you, bro, a man with a woman that's operating in her essence that makes him happy, bro, is one of the, like, he good. You feel me? No matter where you are on the financial scale, you are good. You feel me? You got homeless people out here in great relationships that are fucking doing better than people in mansions. Facts. You feel me? Because they're at peace with each other. So for a man to be talking about a woman needs to go half or split this or split that, bro, you ain't operating in your masculine. So you'll never get a woman to operate in her feminine. As long as you that nigga, you'll never get a woman that's going to bring you peace. You'll never get a woman that's going to provide you the things that you deserve, because you don't deserve them.
Right.
And I agree with bro too, because I mean, even with that too, like and this is not to flip the question, but like men can never be, because Chris Rock said this, right, and it had made me like think about this, like we were just saying, like we lose something in a conversation, no matter what. Men are never unconditionally loved. It's very few rare cases where men are unconditionally loved.
Just your mama.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the only one.
Cause a woman not gonna stand around for a broke ass dude. Or you not keeping yourself like that. They're okay with you getting a little chunky. But if you're not paying them bills, if you're not bringing nothing to that table,
they not gonna.
Nowadays, I might give you a year. Nowadays, really not even that long.
Right. even if she stays, you gonna wish she didn't stay. She gonna be so uncomfortable and so unruly. You just like, hey, man, I'm gonna have to let you go.
Yeah, because the dynamic is, it's like, bro, you got to earn your keep.
Yeah,
a woman is a job, bro, and you got to go to work to get paid. You got to go to work to benefit from this woman.
A woman is a job.
She is a job, bro.
And you can never win in the situation because if you don't go to work,
you don't get paid. You don't get the woman.
And don't get it tripping. We ain't mad at you. I agree.
Right.
Like
100%.
You should be a job. I should work. We talked about this the other day, like getting on our shit. Because sometimes the women we be wanting, we not even set up to even go get those women. So let's focus on
your league.
Facts. So let's focus on getting to that point and then go snatch the women we want. So we agree with you. Like it's not a. You should view us like that. It's just that once we accomplish those things, get in your place.
Get in your place.
And I think every woman should be able to, have their own. Get their money.
Yeah, especially if you're single.
Yeah, but we don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
so don't think you're doing that for us.
Yeah.
So when you don't even have to bring that up in the conversation with me because you're doing that for you.
First thing they're gonna say at dinner, what you bring to the table? Well, I work, I got my own place.
I don't care about that.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah. All right. All right, cool. That's cool. But what do you bring to the table? Because that's not coming to the table.
Right.
You feel me? I don't care to spend your money. I don't care if you spend your money on me. I don't need that.
Right.
You feel me? Those things are not important to me. You feel me? That's equivalent to a woman asking me what I bring to the table, and I'm naming a bunch of shit that ain't got nothing to do with being the man.
Fact.
You feel me?
Man, the first time I had a female spend something on me, bro, it felt so weird, bro.
I say that all the time, bro.
Weird, bro. Because
you be so uncomfortable.
You don't even know how to take it.
You don't even know how to sit at the table.
Yeah,
you
like,
come like, man,
and you still be want to pull your wallet out of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you
I'll be
start
right back.
checking your time.
I'm
You got to watch on. I'm checking my
Yeah.
time. Like, nah, this shit, it feels
You feel like you got to do something extra. You got to hold her hand on the way out, bitch. I don't even know what to do. Let me hold the door.
The effort is beautiful, but y'all got to understand that all that does is put more pressure on us mentally. Because my thing is like, if you spend $2 on me, I got to spend $4 on you.
Because that's how they look at it. It's not even.
That's how I'm wired. Yeah,
one dinner for you is like 10 for me.
Right. And we so used to, we understand, bro, that like it's almost like anytime a woman does something for you, you end up paying for it ultimately anyway.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? It's costing me anyway. That's why I don't really want nothing from you, because I know it's gonna cost me. If you live with a woman and your woman, if you are with a woman or in a relationship and your woman does something for you, usually you the one paying for it, or usually you the one funding it.
In some form of fashion. Yeah.
Because you got to get it back tenfold. You feel me? A woman that's a gift giver, you feel me? Guess what you got to do? You got to give back.
Yeah, you got to buy a bigger gift.
Yeah, you got to buy a bigger gift. And it's just like, I don't even want that pressure.
And I've always took pleasure in pleasing.
Right.
Facts, as you should.
Yeah, like
that's a man shit.
Like, that's what a man should.
That's a man shit, bro.
Like whether it's financially, in your household, leading the household, or even bedroom. Like I've always, like I can't get off before you.
Right.
I haven't been that guy.
I'm everything but that last one.
Yeah. Well, you catch sometime.
It's a race. I'm take K in the pussy.
Take K.
I'm gonna do the race. I don't know what to tell you.
I said take K.
But no, absolutely though. But to this lady, to your thing though, and to address you, I feel like you said a couple things that was major points to me. You said something that you thought was a good thing, but I think it's a negative. You said I got no crazy ex lurking. I think that pussy trash. That's just how I feel like the gate. If you don't have at least one nigga that won't stop trying, I don't feel like you got no good box though. It's impossible.
Right.
That pussy got to make one nigga crazy.
Yeah.
To know it's fine.
That patch your hair, boy. That patch your hair start plenty wars and battles.
Man, that's a fact though.
Yeah, because it's worth it though. Motherfuckers, bro, back in the day, that's all women had was some pussy.
Yes, you know how many swords got drawn for some pussy?
That's all.
And
it
it wasn't even clean pussy back then. It stank back then. Niggas was still ready to go to war.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Facts, bro. Facts.
Yeah, man.
Facts, bro. That was proof alone.
Yeah, that medieval pussy had to be.
Man, well, come on, man. Nigga, motherfuckers been fighting over pussy forever.
Yeah, maybe that's a reason. That's maybe how they got started though.
There's a reason.
Might go in the butt.
But see what happened though, is what I think now though is that men are so spoiled because sometimes when you can when you have so much access to something, you don't appreciate its value. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? But because nowadays there's so much access to pussy that men don't appreciate its value. Mm-hmm. But when it gets to a point to where, that's why I tell women all the time, y'all control the narrative, and that's not to shit on y'all. That's giving you credit to let you know that you control the narrative. Y'all control everything. The actions of men is controlled by women.
Facts.
You feel me? The climate that we're in is because of y'all.
Facts.
Whatever y'all tolerate, that's what we do. Wherever y'all put y'all foot down at, that's how we function.
But they don't listen, so they create monsters in their own head. If you try to tell a woman what a man likes or what we into, what they create demons, like they'll look at your profile, your page, and be like, that's what you like, even though you ain't never said that's what I like. So they assume and go create these monsters and stuff in their head. But you made a good point about A man living in his masculinity will have no purpose for a woman living outside of her femininity, right? It's like what if they sold shoes in threes? What would that do? That would be awkward as fuck.
Yeah,
What
super
I'm gonna do with this third shoe, right? Cool. And that's kind of what it's like. If a man is living in he got his life together, he got both of his shoes on, he is walking in his purpose, right? What am I gonna do with another shoe? The only kind of men who acquiesce to that shit you talking about is not the man you're looking for. It's a man with either no shoes on or one shoe on. Mm-hmm. If I'm halfway living a man life, I don't really got my shit together, I could use another shoe. Mm-hmm. You can come over here and ask something. That mean I want you to pay half the bills. If I'm a good for nothing nigga, got no shoes on, yeah, you can bring both your shoes over here too. Because I don't have nothing going on. But if I am in my purpose and I got my shoes on walking in my direction, what do I need your shoes for? Mm-hmm. You got to come with another garment. I'm good on this. Right. My path is good. You know what I mean? So I think that was a very, very good analogy.
And the young lady too, she got to realize, man, she got to be careful what she asks for. Because you end up getting, because you said you didn't want the broke dude. Mm-hmm. Now you got the guy that got all the money. So like, you're going to mess around and get exactly what you want, and it ain't going to be exactly what you want.
Like you say, so it's almost like women stop fucking with dudes with one shoe and stop fucking with dudes with a closet full of shoes. Right. Unless you're ready to be in your motherfucking mask, unless you're ready to be in your feminine. Because they got no use for you.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Like, either accept men who, like, start looking for men who do nothing. Let them be the ones that y'all desire. Like, man, I love a nigga with no money. Let that be a thing. And then y'all can walk like that and won't nobody say nothing.
Facts.
I love a broke nigga, girl. I love when a nigga don't get up
now
and
you
do
get
nothing.
what you want.
You
get what you want. You can do whatever you want. You can handle him how you want to, all that, because he need you.
Then you win.
Yeah, but as soon as he get two shoes on, understand that's going to go out the window. A man that let you run him is only a man that needs you. A man that don't need you ain't gonna never let you run him. So you're gonna have to be in a space to where because you can run like a woman. That's why I say a woman who's functioning in a certain way can run any man.
Right.
You feel me? It's like, bro, like when you look at like motherfuckers like Marilyn Monroe, like the one of the greatest hoes in history. You feel me? It's just she knew how to move in her feminine. When we talk about her, when have you ever talked about? Now, mind you, I'm pretty sure she was a rich woman, right? Mm-hmm. But when have you ever in your life heard somebody mention Marilyn Monroe and how much she made?
Because it was her sexuality.
It was irrelevant.
Yeah, she pulled a gangster. She pulled a president. It
was irrelevant.
He couldn't shake her.
Right. We don't know how she bought them gowns, how she was swagging like she was swagging. Yeah. You feel me? You feel me?
Thanks.
The new version of her is Lori Harvey. It's like, bro, bro, listen. Lori is the new Marilyn Monroe, man.
No.
Lori,
I can see that.
We don't. Lori cooking shit.
Don't
man.
disrespect that white queen.
Man, that woman cooking shit, bro.
That ain't Lori is nothing like.
So it's what it is though, bro. Is that it's almost
and
like
I
when a
say Kim K, but I feel like Kim K don't push.
I could go with that.
That's an even better one. That's an even better one.
Yeah,
now, let me throw out Lori. Kim K. What I'm Lori is the Ja Morant right now. Right. Like you on the way. Like right now, we're not gonna argue certain people as the greatest players of all time.
To Sierra.
Huh?
Sierra.
What? What happened?
I push Lord to Sierra.
He says it's Lori and Sierra kind of.
The same. Yeah, two dog ass hoes. They ain't neither one of them ain't shit.
Yeah, but you know
Marilyn fuck the president, dog. You can't get. Jimmy fuck Future. You can't. Don't do that.
But what I'm saying,
fuck the president.
YouTube Bow Wow.
But what I'm saying is this though.
Cam.
Sometimes
though, she fuck Cam. Yeah, damn, that's NFL inside. Yeah, they need the ESPN shit to go across the bottom. Yeah, Lord fuck Cam.
No, I'm talking about
Sierra. Sierra. Damn. Okay. That man Russell Wild though. She hit Cam. I didn't know. I didn't know. That's the NFL inside.
And it's funny. You can't even. What's funny though is the shit we can say. He can't really say because it's law. When he said, what he said is like he gonna be on ESPN tomorrow.
With it. You know what though? But this was wild though. If I was Russell, I couldn't because I know Cam the type of nigga to tell that in every room he go to.
Facts.
I know he say that in every room he go to. Man, you know I smashed that hoe, right?
Oh, ain't shit.
But it was everywhere though. Remember that was kind of dating or something like that for a while.
Nah, I ain't know that. I missed that one.
Yeah, that was dating before.
Man, you in circles we ain't in. Yeah, he know shit that we ain't in. Bro.
But let's get on sports though. I'm coming back. I'm gonna make that a whole topic one day. I need the Marilyn Monroe. That's a whole topic because I know that
Kim K is the perfect example.
That
was a good one. That was a way better one.
Because it was Paris Hilton at first. Then Kim K did it.
Yeah,
over.
But to get into sports. I'm going to get into your career in a minute, but you said something that I want to address before I forget it. You said you feel like if a person has not played your position, that they can't coach you, that they can't tell you about how a running back should play or how.
Yeah, because you catch a real running back and one that coaches the position. Like my running back coach at Bama was Burton Burns. Played in Nebraska. He was legit, you know, but he wasn't even. They moved him to fullback, but he played my position.
Right.
And his track record showed that he knew what he was talking about. He had the James Davis before he came to Bama. He had the C.J. Spillers. He had the guy at Michael Hart at Tulane.
CJ was a dog. I fuck with Spiller.
Yeah. And he had, you know, when he got to Bama, he had the Glenn Coffees, the Rob Church, the Mark Ingrams, the Meade, the Eddie Lacy's, the Josh Jacobs, the Damian, the Derrick Henrys.
I had a stable. That's a hell of a list of backs.
Back to back NFL Hall of Fame.
Listen,
TJ Yeldon, like he had all that. But to look at
you think they got Miami beat? Miami back stable? That was a hell of a list. You think y'all got Miami beat?
Alabama
tough,
do though.
Man.
Miami had them backs.
They
brother,
did. Who
like
they
for
had?
a minute.
They had
Willis, Clinton,
yep.
Frank Gore.
Frank.
I know it's somebody I'm missing. Najee Davenport. Them boys had a backfield.
They had a nice backfield.
But Alabama,
I think y'all got to beat them.
Alabama
Back to what
beat
you
them.
said. Yeah.
Miami was producing speed in like the quick backs. But I think it's Alabama.
Them boys had a back. But y'all
Alabama
did too though. You just named a hell of a list though.
Alabama and Florida State. Florida State had them dogs too.
For backs?
Yeah, they had some good backs.
Not up there with them though. That what he
Not
just
up there
named,
with
and
them,
not I mean, Florida State had some dogs, but not like that.
We went.
They had the unusual backs, like you strong and fast. That was rare.
Over the since Nick been there, like Nick done had that thing packed out with the back, and that's what
y'all got it.
To put some pressure on you.
I stopped thinking after you, but even today, they just had Najee Harris.
Yeah, Najee.
I forgot my boy from now. He got a weird name,
even
Emir or something like that. He fought you though.
What's the kid that's in the first round? Well, he should be.
Yeah,
first
this year
round.
he going first.
Greatest back in Alabama history.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
Now hold on, we're going there. Go back to what you said. Can't play. I got that whole list going.
Okay,
yeah.
Bet.
So back to what you said about the coach.
So you think about the backs that he done had, bro, and produced. But like even now, you can tell the difference between the backs that he had and what they got out there now.
Right.
Like the Jahmyr Gibbs, that's his name. Like he don't run like we used to run.
Right.
Like he's fast, but if you catch Jahmyr, his stiff form gonna be able to push him out of bounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was finishing your ass. Mark was finishing your. Eddie was gonna finish you.
Right.
He gonna probably spin, but if he can't spin no more, he gonna finish behind them pads, and you gonna have to tackle his big ass.
So, but you saying that was more how you was coached
Yeah.
than just your natural build?
Yeah.
Like you wasn't built to run like him. Like TJ Yeldon, he was similar to Buddy right now. Gibbs his last name?
Yeah.
Like he was similar. So he didn't run like y'all either.
See, but TJ finished. Like and I'm not saying that kid don't finish, but he finished different. He finished mean. TJ Yeldon finished mean. He might have fumbled that motherfucker on the goal line,
Right.
but you gonna pay for that hit.
Yeah.
Like if you hit me, you gonna have to hit me all 4 quarters because I'm hitting your ass. No matter what the game is, how tired I am. Like that's how we was taught. Like that's how we was wired. And I don't think those kids are wired like that who's been coached by somebody who didn't play that position.
So why are some of the best coaches, literally college and NFL, have never played? And sometimes when they take a coach who was a star player, he can't coach. Like that's a historic. A lot of the greatest coaches have never, like they not even didn't play the position. The hell didn't play the sport. They stopped at high school or college. That was it. You feel me? And they turned out to be some of the best minds in the game.
Well, it comes to where they're able to sit down and study and break down every aspect of the game because they couldn't do it. So they're trying to find a way, and they're living in you. You know what I'm saying? Like now, I don't coach my sons because I don't have to live through my sons. I don't play my ball.
Right.
Like I'm really the camera dude out there with the little league games. Yeah. I'm the one behind everybody and.
It's dope that you say that. I'm glad you don't.
Because I know when the couple times I have said something to my son, he took it different. Like, and for him to have my name, Trent Richardson Jr.,
some pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. That was one of the hardest things for me, bro, to name my son after me because I didn't want him to ever. I think me and you might have had this conversation when he was born. I was like, bro, I don't want him to think he got to live up to anything I've done.
Right.
And he was like, bro, but even if he live up to half of it, like the pressure, it's gonna make a diamond out of him.
But I think that's a black thing too, though. I've always thought that. I always think that that's because we compare everything.
Right.
I think that it's supposed to be you giving your son your name
to continue legacy.
It should be beneficial.
Right.
Like that should get him indoors that the average name, and we should look at that as a plus.
Yeah.
But because black people will always say, "Oh, you ain't like your dad," or we expect you. We always looking for some way to pull you back down, and I think that's just one of the things that we use because I think that should be a plus for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that needs to happen more. Even though, like, bro, like you a legend, Hall of Famer. You feel me? College Hall of Famer, NFL first round pick. But I think it's important. I love that you don't coach your own son because I think the cost of making your children great sometimes is too much. You feel what I'm saying? Like you watch it with Roy. You feel me? You the greatest boxer of all time, but the most important thing would have been my relationship with my father.
Right.
But it's like my father wanted me to be great so bad that he pushed me and he created resentment within me to where we don't even get along today. So I tell people all the time, it's like, they like, well, why do you coach your sons? I was like, I stopped doing that a long time ago because I didn't want to sacrifice the relationship with my kids. It's easy for me to pay somebody and get them to do everything I want to do and let them be the face and the bad guy for that, right? I can be there watching, just like you say, like I could be the cameraman, right? And I can pay somebody who I trust. Like right now, Ralph Mims is one of my good friends. Played at FSU, played ball overseas, 4 years at FSU. You feel me? Great ball player. But he's somebody I trust. I played ball with him. You feel me? So instead of pushing my son and yelling at my son and doing the necessary things, and this is because we live in a different era too, though, right? We live in an era where kids don't think and take shit the way we took it. You feel me? We live in a softer era. You feel me? So you got to be gentle with your children in a sense. You feel me? Just because of the way they wired.
Yeah.
So I'll pay Ralph to coach my son, right? And I'll say, Ralph, this is the things I need him to work on. Right. This is what I want him to do. Yeah. Push him hard. You feel me? I don't give a fuck if he hates you. You feel me? I'm going to pay you the money. I might be the camera guy. You feel me? So I get to monitor this and get to watch this, but I'm getting everything I need at the same time. And after you beat the shit out of my son out there, when he get in the car with me, now I get to help him. I get to nurse his wounds. You feel me? And I get to call him a little bit, make sure he good. You feel me? And still maintain my relationship, but I got everything I needed in that process. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just, I think it's dope. But if I was a Hall of Fame running back, maybe it'd be different. You feel me?
But I still think, and I'm not telling nobody how to raise their kids.
Your father coached you, right?
I just strongly disagree. No, he didn't coach me.
He didn't coach you? Okay.
And I strongly disagree because, again, I think that's sometimes we get in our own head about who we are. You know what I mean? Well, I ain't nobody, but y'all two got some names, right? Cool. I think what happens is if you have a child and you're still young enough to either currently be lit as your child is growing up, or you still one of them people who can't let go your litness, like your time when you was that dude, that's when I think you shouldn't coach your child.
Right, facts.
There are plenty of baseball players who, what's his name, Tony Gwynn's son is in the league, Vladimir's son is in the league. There are plenty NFL players who got, like, you can still be somebody and your son could, if you're willing to get out the way of who you used to be and just be dad. Like, you could coach your son just as dad, not as Trent Richardson. You get what I'm saying?
That's fact.
So I believe that if a lot of people suffer like Roy, Michael Jordan and stuff because I was so lit that I'm still that nigga to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or if I'm still in that phase, I'm so busy being that nigga that I forget to raise my little dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I believe that you could absolutely push your son because you will know better than any coach would. You know your son mentality more so than any coach would, as long as you're not doing it as the star. But I'm just doing it as the dad.
But my argument with that, though, is that you don't get to control the light that you shine. You feel me?
Yeah, but I have nothing to do with the outside. Right, no, I'm just talking about me coaching my son.
I'm talking about with my son too,
exactly.
Though. Because like my thing is this is like, all right, cool. Like I have a name that's known, right? So anytime I do something with my son, like my son has always been with me. So it's absolutely. I'm just dad, but it's always still that light that shines from other people because he's influenced by other people too. You feel me? Like my son, even now, I don't even think my kids appreciate like I was in my dad's shadow as well. You feel me? So I was like my dad. They call my dad Greasy. So I was a little greasy. You feel what I'm saying? So it was just like my identity was lost without him having anything to do with it.
True.
You feel what I'm saying? So sometimes you struggle to get out of the light and it has nothing to do with your father. Your father could not even be coaching you and just be around and it's still you. Like Bronny James is going to be forever trying to fucking escape the LeBron light.
But I think LeBron does an excellent job. The light don't get no bigger than that.
Right.
But I think he does an excellent job of letting it. But I bet in the house he does. I bet in the personal time. They got to shoot some ball.
They hoop, but he don't coach his own kids.
Right.
See, but I think that's different too, because I would train my son.
Right.
Okay.
Outside of our training, like he trained with me.
Right.
With my trainer, and which Mike McCoy played at Bama, but he sees it from his point of view with stuff too. Mike played the same position. TJ played receiver. He was a 6'4" guy. TJ might be 6'5", 6'6". He's 10 years old right now, coming past my chin.
Right.
And when people look at him, they be like, "Boy, he built just like Big Dog." Like
Big Dog is a big boy.
Yeah.
What, you 6'5"?
Yeah, 6'5" and a half or something like that.
Height just missed you.
I was. My dad was 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah.
My mom 5'8".
You the shortest boy?
Yeah, shortest. Yeah, okay. I'm the shortest one. My grandma 5'9", 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
5'10", 5'10". But I was just the shortest one. I made 5'11" on a good day.
Yeah.
And so with that, like even on his other side, like they got a lot to live up to.
Yeah, they big, bro.
Like Rakishi them, and the Fatu, like that's a lot to live up to. But they naturally gonna be big.
But I was about to say though, like that's a hell of a combination, boy.
That's a science project, boy.
Your kids have got to be great at something.
Yeah,
like
it's a science project, bro. That's what you do. That's what I do when I'm like when I say I'm going to mate two people. that was mating, bro.
Them kids are going to be savages of some kind, brother.
Man, and it's crazy, bro, because like.
Are they in the kin to they kin to the wrestlers, the twins, right? Damn. Well, that's some crazy genetics, bro.
And it's crazy because
I want some of their blood in the valve. I need to take some of that.
Like they
inject somebody with some of that shit. That motherfucker need to be shooting
Facts,
up.
yeah, real talk.
And going back to what I was saying, like I train him when my trainer get done training us, but I train him and hey, let's work on this, or you want to work on this, and he'll tell me like, and I did that early on, right? Because I wanted him to learn how to push himself. Like, bro, he'll train so hard to where like we went to Bama last year, and I don't know why they act like they never seen all these pictures of me and my handprints in the Denny chimes and my name all on the sidewalk and all these big. And I'm like, and they're sitting there looking at it like, and TJ said to me, right? He said, "Dang, Dad, your name everywhere around here." I said, "Well, your name right?" He said, "Nah, that's yours. I got to get mine up there."
Respect that, yeah.
And so that let me know right then and there, okay, you paying attention, you getting it.
Facts.
But man, the dude was 5 years old, first year playing football, right? And a kid was trying to challenge him, and I didn't know my son knew what I do. Did he understand? I knew he knew I played football. I don't know if he knew like to the capacity of like who I was. And Jit was talking about racing him or something. He looked at him and said, "Man, you know who my dad is?"
That shit had to feel good.
And so I'm listening. I'm
like, "Who am I, son?
Like,
tell him. Go tell him."
I'm listening like, man, you. And he's so quiet.
Yeah.
He said, "You don't want these problems like that."
Yeah, he gonna be a dog.
Jit took off, and Jit came, and TJ went and got him.
Yeah.
So I told you who my daddy was, just like that.
Yeah,
then we on the way to this meeting, and he say, I said, and me being me, and I'm just thinking outside the box, and I don't know why I'm talking to this kid at 5 like this, but I am. I said, "TJ, what you want to do when you get older, man?" He said, "I want to play football." I said, "Well, TJ, you ain't got to play football. You can be a doctor, you can be a firefighter, you can be the mayor," because we had just left the mayor too, because he was at one of our practices. I was like, "You can be, a police officer, whoever."
I wouldn't have told him nothing. What you want to do? Good. I wouldn't have said nothing else. Exactly.
Bet.
But
I don't want to push you, but if you already there, let's
cool.
keep you there.
But this is
fuck
what
around
this
coming
young
with that
man,
fire truck the next day. I'm like, shit, I should have said that. Like, man, why you doing that?
You don't want to run the ball no more, don't want to do nothing.
You working $40,000 a year and some new age dyke women. Get your ass out there.
This man crazy.
Facts.
But this is what this man hit me with. This man say, I said, "Well, why you want to play football?" He said, "Well, Dad, you can't take care of the family for your whole life. You can't always play football." And this Jit is 5 telling me this.
Yeah.
Man, you talking about somebody was like, I'm trying to keep a straight face the whole time. He's sitting behind me because he's sitting in the back. But man, I was toe up inside for him to say that to me.
These people smarter than we think they is, though, bro.
Like
they see more than we think
I'm
they
glad
see.
you know, yeah.
It's the whole sponge thing good, bro. Like, so like even when it come to I didn't play receiver, so I help them out with certain stuff. But on the field, I don't coach them. I mess with the offensive line, if anything. And I mess with the backs a little bit. But like I sit back, and because I've seen situations too where
You can over push them and do too much.
Not even that. They only know your voice. So you get to the next level like a Nick Saban, and your dad's trying to tell him what to do with you. Mm-hmm. I don't need your own program. I don't want national championships without you. I'm gonna win them. I don't want them before you. I'm gonna win them without you. Like,
yeah, that's a good
football
point.
Donors are.
I bet Nick would be like, you can come get your son, really, if you want to.
That's exactly what happened.
Right.
Yeah, real talk.
That's exactly what happened. I done seen that. Yeah. Same thing that happened with RG3 with the Redskins.
And I coach my son, and anytime I have coach my sons, though, it's like with a lot of discretion. It's almost like with a lot of explaining. You feel me? Yeah. Like I'll sit and have like if I'm finna go work the shit out my kid, on the way there, we having a whole conversation. Like, son, anything we do, I just want you to know, you got to understand that anything I do for you is coming from a place of love. You feel what I'm saying? I want you to be the best, and I want you to understand what it takes to get there. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of our kids have dreams and aspirations, but we fail them by not preparing them or making them understand how much work it takes to get there. You feel me? We'll tell our kids they can be anything, but we don't push them in a fashion to where they have the ability to work to be anything. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Like Chris Rock said this too. He was just like, motherfucker, tell their kids you can be anything you want to be. You feel me? And he was like, no, the fuck you can't. You ain't got the skill or the talent to be anything you want to be. You feel me?
Facts.
If you motherfucking 5'2", you can't be in the NBA. You feel me? So it's like it's important to keep things in a perspective with these children too, and just keep them like you got to kind of like it's the task is not hindering their dreams or their window, because sometimes you can crush a kid and you can lower their ceiling with your shit. You feel me? Like a lot of times you might tell your son and you won't think nothing about it. You feel me? He might be like 5'2", and he might be like, fuck, I'm gonna go to the do this, and you like, it's like, son, you can't do that. It's like, bitch, who are you to put your limitations on your children? So it's like I try not to put my limitations on my children, but it's just like I do explain to my children, just like even when I used to spank my children. It's like this shit comes. It's not out of anger. This shit come with a lot.
Beat that out. He don't spank children. It's corporal punishment. You can't say that on the air.
That's funny as hell. That's funny as hell.
That'll get us counsel faster than anything.
But you know what's crazy though is that's why I always thought was weird though, bro. Is that you can't spank your children for doing something egregious like crazy, but they can shoot your children for doing almost nothing. Yeah. That shit is crazy, bro. It's because our children don't belong to us anymore.
But it's crazy you say that. Like, that's what happened with AP, with Agent Peterson.
Oh, his son?
Yeah, when he went to jail and stuff, and his baby mama had. Nah, bro. What happened was the little boy called his mama a bitch.
Yeah.
And
he's supposed to get on him, though.
But all he did was whoop him. Like, he got the...
You know why people make a whoop and turn into... A switch is a deadly weapon to a white person.
How did it get on the internet? How did the pictures come out?
Because the baby mama put it on there because he wouldn't get a baby mama no money.
So, I whooped you because you called your mama a bitch.
No, your grandmama a bitch. My mama.
Oh, my
mama a bitch.
Oh, you can't do that. You got to know who your baby mama is. You got to chill. You can't whoop. I feel you. Yeah. But if that woman on the other side ain't on your team, though, you got to know better than that, man. That whooping costs him millions of dollars, bro. Yeah. You got to know. I mean, I'm not saying that I got whoop coming up, so I get it. But hey, quickly, which one hurt worse? Daddy, I'm gay, or Daddy, I'm going to Auburn? which one was sting harder?
And he got to think about it. That's how you know this shit's serious.
Yeah.
That's what I got to think about it. And he's really over here. You got to think
about it. Like, hey, let Daddy meet my boyfriend, or Daddy War Eagle.
This shit is crazy.
Because you're gonna have to go to the games, and you're gonna have to War Eagle. It's your son.
It depends. Oh, you talking about my son?
Yeah, your son. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm talking about your boys too. No, I'm talking about your son.
That man said War Eagle.
Yeah,
and he still thinking about it
because it's deep. Auburn, man, that's deep, bro.
Bro, that shit deep.
Man, I'm telling you, folks ain't playing, bro. They won't even serve you at restaurants if you come there and you got on the wrong, bro. You can't eat here, bro. You can't wear that in.
Wow, 1950s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did shit.
Segregation.
But he's still an answer.
That is wild, bro. I would have been there to that.
Because he got to go to the game, and so Trent Richardson, the Alabama running back, gonna have to sit in the stands. War Eagle, because my son.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I sit in the stand, but I ain't wearing no.
It's your son. You can wear the jersey.
Fuck. Excuse me. I ain't wearing that jersey, bro. I go to the game. I ain't wearing no jersey.
Damn, man, you ain't gonna wear no little.
Son,
he got his jersey.
But you know what's wild? But you know what's wild? Your name is on the back of an Auburn jersey. Yeah. I mean, Auburn jersey. Trent Richardson.
Yeah, I ain't
he gonna wear your number?
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough, man.
And he gonna break all your records on the Auburn jersey too. That's what's crazy.
It'll be crazy.
Gonna be cutting up on Alabama.
I
know they're gonna find him in the stands. How you feel about your son rushing for 300 for the Auburn beating Alabama, your old team?
I'm gonna tell you, I ain't played the full quarters when I was in school, so they took me out the full quarter and we played against Auburn. So
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna let him slide because it's too deep. It's too deep. I'm gonna let you slide.
So let's get it. I'm gay, man. That's too hard.
Too deep. Let's get into who Trent Richardson is, though. Okay, cool. So coming out of high school, number one back in the country or number one player in the country? Which one was it?
I was number one back in the country. I was number 3 player in the nation.
Right.
At this time, this was when they had the Matt Barkleys on certain sites.
Right.
I think it was me and Bryce Brown competing for like number 1 back in the nation on both sites. I was 1 and he was 1 on the other. But I think it was like Matt Barkley, me, Bryce Brown, DJ Fluka, Drake Kirkpatrick. Like even like we had a tough ass class, dog.
Right.
But it was number 1 running back for sure though.
Yeah, and number 3 in the country.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm getting recruited by everybody. It probably ain't nobody who ain't send you a letter, right?
Nah, I was getting letters from dual schools, like far as like I don't want to play no damn basketball for Duke. Like I played basketball because I could play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
anything to get you on the field. Like you can hoop here if you want to. Can you imagine that nigga?
Terrible.
Right. Him and Jason Tatum on the court together. Jason,
stop, man. This man, 285.
Exactly.
I ain't
never seen nothing like
just to get them skills on the football field. Yeah.
That's it. Like, but what I did do though, I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, cool. No. The reason why I set it up to say getting recruited from everywhere. Why Alabama? I know how you feel about them now, but coming up, were you an Alabama fan?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So why? What made you out of? Because most kids won't ever have the option to choose anywhere they want to go.
Yeah.
So what made you choose this out of every college that existed, bro?
Well, of course, coming from Florida, that you gonna be to Miami, you gonna be to Florida, especially at that time. Tebow them was hot.
Facts.
But I was
don't know.
Peter Ward fan my whole life. Of course, you got Derrick Brooks from Florida State, same high school coach and stuff like that. Emmitt Smith at Florida. You're gonna love all your Florida schools. But
did they have any of those guys like trying to help recruit you? Like any of the alumni? Did they have like?
Oh yeah, you get that. But who told me the realest shit, man? Emmitt told me the realest shit.
That fuck nigga stop you from going to a Florida school. Sometimes you just can't let certain niggas talk, man. I knew it.
You knew it was some bullshit.
I knew it though, brother. That's why he went to Alabama. It had to be. What he told you? Don't let him hold you down, because he one of them type of niggas. I'm from Dallas. No, nigga, you from here.
Nah, man. People get the wrong perception of Emmitt, man. And I saw he screamed in Pensacola, man. People, you know how we is down here. He got a big golf tournament he do every year. He raised $1 million that night. I seen it a few times happen, and he have all the celebrities come out. I'm talking about he had Magic Johnson out, Martin Lawrence. Like guys,
ain't they married to the same? They same ex?
They was.
So now it's the thing that was like we don't fuck with her together, so you can come to the golf tournament.
No. This was before time when he was with Pat.
Oh, he's with. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they co-parenting basically.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. They
co-parenting.
I fuck with that. That makes sense.
I think Carlton was hosting it.
Hey, listen, we might be cool. We got to get. I ain't coming to your golf tournament, man.
If we co-parenting, I'll slide. But I fuck with you.
I think once you get to that age, though, bro, you start understanding like shit. It's
maybe if I'm richer than you, I could. More ain't got more money than me. Say I might come. Yeah. You know what I mean? I gotta have something up on you. You got my girl, but I got more money. All right, I can shoot a couple rounds with you. But yeah, crazy, but Alabama though. Why Alabama? What Emmitt told you? The realest thing he told you?
Well. Emmitt told me, so we was talking about, and this might have been the day before I actually signed to Bama, because it was still up in the air for me, and I was gonna push my shit back, because I was that torn in between Florida, LSU, and Bama.
Man, that's when my school was on the list, man.
And so Emmitt was just like, "Well, you a bat like I am. What you mean?" You're like, "You got to be in an I formation." You're like, that shotgun shit ain't for you. It ain't for me. I wish I could tell you to be like, hey, once a Gator, always a Gator, but that offense is not fit for you. I know you and Tim Tebow was 230, a piece, 240. but that shit ain't gonna be fit for you. I know they want you to run track too, but you would have had a dope ass track team. Jeff Demps, me, Percy, and Chris Raynor gonna be the 4x1 team.
Can you imagine that team if that man had went to Florida? It'd have been Cam, him, Rainey. That should have been crazy, bro.
Yeah, that shit would have been stupid.
Let me stop dreaming. It would have been stupid, bro.
But he was just like, man, you got to be behind the quarterback. You got to be in the I formation. You got to be coming downhill. All that sideline to sideline, it ain't meant for backs like us.
Right.
Like if Florida would have had that shit when I was in school, I wouldn't have went there. And it made sense, man. And so for me, the school I wanted to go to was Texas, though. That was my school. I love Vince Young.
I can see you there, though. I can see you there. But that's Alabama-esque.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Vince Young. I love Cedric Benson. Earl Campbell's one of my biggest inspirations.
Don't you skip over Ricky Williams. I know he's weird, but he's a dog.
Man, love Ricky, bro.
Yeah.
Like even hearing some of the stories from Coach Saban, man, he'll like, bro, Ricky, like Trent, you bad, but Ricky's the best player I've ever.
A lot of people say that though, bro. A lot of people swear that was the best athlete they ever saw.
Yeah,
He's a freak. Just upstairs, he just wasn't.
When you ain't right upstairs and you that good, bro, you just a freak. It's like you just got God gifted abilities that you or nobody else can do nothing about.
The thing about that, man, I thought that too. But if you meet Ricky, you be like, bro, ain't nothing wrong with Ricky. Ricky's smarter than, cause like even what he's doing now, like you look in today's news, like they're gonna stop punishing NBA players from now on for smoking weed.
Right. I don't think he's not intelligent. I just think he's a weirdo. It's two different things. Some of the smartest humans I've ever met are weirdos. You feel me? I just think he's a weirdo. I think he's an odd dude. But that don't mean he's not smart. You can't it's hard to be great at something and not be intelligent. You feel me? For the most part.
And I ain't even talking about he's not intelligent. I'm talking about like he's weird to us on the outside, looking at, what all, people film and shows. Yeah. But when you sit down and talk to him, you be like, bro, all that shit makes sense. Like people might think it's weird when we talk on this podcast, but people don't know the conversation that we have had off the podcast, like personal.
Right, for sure.
It'd be some shit like folks be like, damn, like y'all really sit there and talk about that?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's conversation that you need to have, and if you don't, get the information, you're still gonna be at a lack because we haven't had those talks. You know what I'm saying?
He took his wife's last name. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I ain't doing that.
He a different nigga, bro. He a different type of nigga, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. He just
I ain't taking no word last name.
Nah, I feel you. So listen, you choose Alabama, right? Cool.
So let me go back to tell you about the Bama. So Bama had a program called the Bryant program. If you go there, you play football, and your kids go on a full free scholarship.
Oh damn!
So now,
Wow.
So them and LSU had a program like that, but LSU wasn't offering anything to be like, well, you're gonna go in here and fight. You're gonna be a part of this, and that. And LSU was where my mama wanted me to go. And so with that, my brother was at Lafayette, 30 minutes down the street.
He was a dog.
Yeah,
he was a dog. People don't talk about him enough.
They don't talk about him enough. Man.
He could have went to the league easy.
Yeah, and probably should have went to a bigger school.
Facts.
But some of his letters was getting hid, but
another story. Huh?
Yeah, but he definitely was a dog in a few different sports. But my mom wanted me to go to LSU at first, and I was like, well, hold on, Mom. We got back from visiting LSU. We're going to be a Tiger this, we're going to be a Tiger that. And so I'm like, Mom, I got to live my 3 to 4 years here. That's on me. So we go down to Bama. Her first time. I'd have been there before. All these fans run up to me. First thing my mama do, she pushing me back. She ready to fight. She, hold on, what y'all doing? Y'all good? Like, that's Trina. You know what I'm saying? And no, Ms. Richardson, we just want your son to sign, autograph from your son. He's a very great player. He's highly recruited. This is that. At the time, my mom still ain't thinking about it. She's still trying to fight. I said, Mom, listen to what they saying, Mama. They want me to sign a picture, and
I bet it was the finest white women saying that. Man, but it was the finest of white women running up the tree, man, trying to pull a dread or two. Please come here.
Bama,
Yeah.
Bama.
I know he ain't got to. We can move on because I get in trouble. Just keep going. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Go ahead. We know.
I'm just walking by the student section.
Yeah, we know.
That boy sweat like Uncle Rugged.
I bet the finest stuff Caucasian.
But sweet white nectar.
But the funnest recruiting trip I had.
Yeah. Florida?
Man.
I know.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
still talk about it.
Yeah.
I know. That's why they go there.
Man.
Yeah.
That shit different.
The finest of white
And I
women.
had Joe Hayden as my host.
Yeah, he probably was a white woman slayer, wasn't he?
And Joe had it, dog.
Joe looked like one of them dudes who love white women.
Nah, but Joe,
He probably married a black girl, but I'm just saying.
He got a little fit. I don't know. She's something else.
That's what I said. Yeah.
That's
They
funny as hell.
lift the chairs up when I don't know if they Pakistan or something. Or,
Oh. Hey, that man swear they lift the chairs up. I wish y'all.
They lift them up at the wedding.
I'm with you though. Yeah.
I don't want
I don't know what the wrong race.
You know what I'm saying? The wrong country.
You say the wrong race. You just
They lift the chairs up when they get married and stuff. They
But
say,
listen, that's almost like saying, you know, the ones that eat the chicken and that's yeah, you know them. You know the kind. What I don't know what they call them. The watermelon. They eat the watermelon. That man swear they lift
the one that eat the big feet.
That's where he with. They don't sit in them.
Good girl though. Good girl.
Yeah. But no. Okay, so back to your mama was finna square up with the
Yeah, she better to square up with him, man.
They don't pay me no attention, man.
She about to square up with them, man, and she didn't understand how big I was at the time. And so next thing you know, we gonna roll with the tide. That's what she was saying.
Right.
And so I'm like, Ma, I gotta make my decision. We go down to Florida. She didn't really like Florida, but she was okay with it because it was far enough from Pensacola that people couldn't put their hands on me.
Right.
People couldn't be near. Like, she hated Florida State.
Too close.
Too close. I have
And
a
you was
cousin
somebody that
down
everybody
there.
reaching for too.
Yeah, like
I did my best to stay out your way.
yeah.
I just was like, bro, like, and now I think back though, and I was like, damn, I wish I could have. I said this on the podcast before that because we was talking about you, and I was just like, damn, I wish I could have had more influence earlier, or been around. You feel me? But it's like one of those things where you kind of bittersweet. You in between, like everybody pulling on, bro. Kind of just stay out the way. But it's just like, you know, when you got good intentions for a person and you got good advice, you want to give it to them, but it's just like everybody's trying to give it to them.
So much in his ear.
So much in his ear, so it's just like you become a distraction. So my thing was just like, just let bro know if you need anything, bro, I'm here. Ride your wave. You feel me?
Yeah. And it'd be crazy because I tell people this all the time, right? When you got 3 to 4 people in your ear, like telling you good stuff, what you're supposed to be doing or no, and you got 1,000 or 100 people in this left ear telling you, man, you need to do this, you need to do that, and I need this, I need it, I'm gonna borrow this. You can't hear the 3 to 4, but you pay like you listen to it, but it's different from hearing and listening. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, or taking it in and not taking it. It's a difference, bro. Like, and so like even I know we talked about doing this show a while ago. And so soon I seen bro at the shop. And really, I got upset with him because he wanted to pay for the daiquiri, and I'm like, bro, nah, bro. He's like, man, let me spend my money with you.
Yeah,
like that's at least what I can do. But it's stuff like that. Like my respect for bro has always been there. He always been a big brother to me. I seen him do it for my older brother too, for my middle brother, and they was the same age. But I seen him lead him in a way like just watching him on the basketball game. You get what I'm saying? Like, but I've always had respect for him because he did something outside the box that people didn't think that he can do. And he took it to the next level with tattooing, with his music, being on the big screen. And so I respected his grind. And it's only a select few that I can be like, well, bro got my best interest. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a situation, brother called me and be like, hey, you know about this, and that? Or you know, should I give you your number?
Listen, we know Bone is Black Jesus. Tell us about this white devil. I'm trying to get to Alabama. We know Bone is good. I'm trying to hear about the devil. I can't wait to get to it. Now we have selected Alabama at this point, right? All right. So when you get to Alabama, right, is it weird now being on the football field with people as talented as you? High school is a different story. You were elite. You probably don't even play at school, maybe your whole career that you ever saw somebody on your level. But now they everywhere you turn. Both sides of the ball.
And you know what's crazy? People don't realize, like, I only played 2 years of high school football, and I never made it to the playoffs. And so I had a 2,000 yards season with just regular games. You know what I mean? Like
That's crazy.
And it's a lot of those games I didn't play the fourth quarter. Like I think the PHS game might have been on the fourth quarter game I played.
Yeah.
You were a real cheat code though.
Yeah, he was. The first time somebody told me about him, I don't even go to high school games.
Yeah.
But they told me about this kid named Trent Richardson, and I'm like, oh, he good, huh? Because I played ball with Blunt.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think Blunt is the best that I've ever seen.
Right.
He was fine.
Me too.
I
still tell folks like I've never seen a running back like Blunt.
Fact. So just in my mind, I'm like, oh, he good, huh?
Right.
So I went to this game, brother, and I'm like, bro, who's this grown ass man? First of all, this man got arms out the pants. I'm like, bro,
he was this size.
I'm like, bro, who let this man out
It's a
here?
cheat code, bro. Like you ain't got no big. Every time, every good player you see now, it's just like they talented. Like Copeland was supremely talented, but when you look at him, it's just like, damn, he my size.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
that man
bigger
was
than
out
all the men. He bigger than all us in the stadium.
I'm like, man, what grade is
I'm
this
like, he
man
could have
in,
went
brother?
to Alabama out of high school
Facts, though.
and been fine.
I like, bro, this
I'm
man
like, this
is not
is cheat
supposed
code,
to play
bro.
with
This
these
is
children.
unreal, bro. That's why I say it's like it's a man amongst boys situation.
But you get to Bama, and it's a whole flock of them.
Right.
Men, arms.
That's the right school to run into him, too.
And it was the best situation for me, man, because I didn't know how good I was. I mean, even at the All-American game, I only got the ball once. It was a passing game. You know, it was the Matt Barkley show. I mean, so when I got to Bama, I didn't know how good I was until we actually put them pads on. I mean, I showed out in 7-on-7 in the little summer programs that we was doing as far as, just doing some team bonding stuff that they say because we ain't supposed to be on the field with the coaches and nothing like that. But when I got on that field, bro, and I seen how fast and how real it was, like every day was a game for us.
Right.
Every day was a fight. And I ain't talking about just, they going one-on-one or they going ones-on-ones, good on good. Like it was, everybody was a good on good. Like everybody was fighting to get a position.
It don't matter whether it was the twos or threes up, everybody five.
Everybody a 5-star. So all them stars, that shit go out the door. And I tell these kids this today, like, bro, like all that entitlement stuff like that don't mean nothing. Mark was a 3-star. Dante Hightower was a 3-star. Yeah. Courtney Upshaw, I don't even know if he was ranked.
That's crazy. Give me the 5-1. Give me the one who you got there and be like, man, this man unreal. Like this. I ain't never seen nothing like this guy in my life. He was the elite of the elites. Who was it? The dude who just shined. I mean, I know it was a lot, but it had to be one person that was just like, man, this nigga's cold.
Any position?
Yeah, any position. He could have played whatever. It could have been a lineman for all I care. They just like, man, this man is on another. Somebody's a different type of human.
Julio, man.
Julio?
That motherfucker different, dog.
I can see that, though.
Yeah, I can understand that. And he like 6'4", ain't it?
Yeah, Julio like 6'4".
Yeah.
Like a solid 6'4".
He was another man.
6'5". Yeah, bro.
Because it was another. Yeah, he was definitely a man
Like,
too. I
people
forgot y'all
be
played
that
together.
tall.
That's crazy.
And that'd be like, I had 3%. Dog, I had 3% of body fat on. This how much he used to compete with me. I had 3% of body fat, bro. Do you know this man had 1% of body fat?
That's insane. That's insane.
That's insane,
bro.
Did he die or he just this is what I am?
That's what he was, bro.
That's insane.
Freak.
Bro. Sometimes you're just born with it, bro.
Listen, I'm asking him before I get into school, like, bro, what you doing this summer? Here, like, bro, I'm just cutting yard. I'm talking about
That's how you get like that, though.
You could have told me that. My son be like, Dad, what we doing this summer? Nigga, cutting yards. Nigga, what you
That's
mean?
what Julio did.
I'm sitting up there training and everything, trying to go down there with him to train and Foley. Oh, boy, I just cut 3-4 yards a day.
Country nigga, man.
That's it. Like,
Just under the sun, pushing
I can just see this
lawnmower.
long ass nigga out there with a lawnmower.
And
White
get
lady
the-
across the street probably beating up meat every time he cutting the lawn.
Bro, and get
Lord
the
Jesus.
first day of summer camp, we got 16 110s running them things like he been running all damn summer. Like, and out there in front. So I'm thinking in my head, shit, if I just keep up with him, I'm good. For the 110 test. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we get up to about 32 on, bro. He's still running strong, bro. Like, I've never seen nothing like it, dog.
Listen, he
Like,
talk, but you bring back memories. I never played on that level, but every school had a 110 test, bro. That's when you show up and the coach want to see if everybody in shape. So you got to sprint 110s. How many y'all did? 30 something?
we start off with 16.
Right.
But it goes up every week. You know what I'm saying? So I know one day you had a couple people like bending over. Yeah. You couldn't bend over, or you could tie your shoe. You had to put your shoe on somebody's leg.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to bend over, like you had to lean on somebody. So you got a motherfucker like DJ Flukel leaning on you. Man, get your big ass off me, bro.
Because he can't bend over. You can run another one.
And then you be ready to fight.
Yeah.
Man, listen. So we had a couple guys bend over or didn't make the time. And really, if your lineman don't make the time, everything got to get redone, like restarted. And bro just kept adding, like, we had did 28, then we did 32, and they was just like, bro, like, what are we doing?
Middle of the summer, bro. 32, 110-yard sprints, brother.
That's crazy.
And I think at the time, bro, I think we had to run the thing like in 14 or 15 seconds.
Yep. You got to do it by position.
Yeah,
so
like
running backs,
position.
it might have been 14, 15.
And they had the running backs with the skilled guys. Like, we wasn't with the linebackers.
We was
like,
skilled,
the quarterbacks and linebackers was together. And they had the running backs with the
You ain't built like no skill cat. You out there buff running with muscle.
Right.
You got
you need
Julio.
to be the lineman for real.
Julio out there, bitch, slim as a motherfucker.
and running, bro. Like, don't slow down.
Yeah. Did you start your first year there?
I played my first year.
You played your first year.
It was me and Mark my first year.
Gotcha. Y'all still cool?
Oh yeah, we still cool.
That's a hell of a tandem. So does Nick? Does he position it like that? Is it really like a true competition in camp, or does Nick kind of, since it's so much talent, does he stagger y'all on purpose? Like, let's say you come in as a freshman and I'm just better than everybody I have here. Will Nick play you, or will he just sit you so you could stay?
So Nick will play you. So that was my situation, right? I was there the whole summer, and they didn't know Eddie Lacy was going to make the grades. Pass the test. Yeah. And so me and Eddie came in together for summer camp, like for the regular summer camp, not just talking about the shit that we do in OTA or not OTAs. Well, I forgot
But I
what they
get the
call
same
it.
thing. Yeah.
So Eddie comes in, but at the same time, it's still like Ivan Matchett, which he was a 4-star from Mobile, came from St. Paul with Mark Barron. You got Ivan Matchett, you got Demetrius Gould from LaGrange, Georgia. You got Terry Grant that was starting before Glenn Coffey was. Glenn ended up leaving. But so it's supposed to be in Glenn year and Royal Upchurch from Tallahassee. And he was running that motherfucker tough too.
Right.
And so it's supposed to be in Glenn, Upchurch, and Mark. That was supposed to be the guys.
Yeah.
But you had Demetrius Gould, Ivan Matchett, I forgot the guy from Montgomery. But you had Big Griff from Mississippi, Mr. Mississippi, his damn self.
Right.
Yeah. How many backs y'all had?
So we had about 9 or 10.
But they just over recruit. Now, these some of the players that you never heard. Right. But I bet if you saw them, you were like, boy.
But and go play anywhere.
Boy.
So Demetrius Gould leave and go start at UAB.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Griff leaves and goes play in Mississippi somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the starter. He's the guy. You know what I'm saying? But I made 3 on transfer and the other 3 no decision field. And
so they had to get somewhere.
And Eddie got redshirted.
Yeah.
And so, but that was me. Like, I started at the bottom. Like, I was on the field where the scrubs was, and like I went from, okay, let me go in here, let me turn up, let me show them. And at the time, like, you really don't know the playbook at that time. I'm just a young pup, just running hard. Like, I remember stiff arming somebody, bro. Then I spun and ran somebody over. Then the next play I came and did the same exact thing, but shot out on their ass. And coach like, 3, go down there with.
Go down
Yeah, go
there.
down there.
You don't belong here.
Yeah, you don't belong down here.
Yeah.
And go over there and do the same shit.
Yeah.
But now we're practicing against guys like Marcel Deers, Terrence Cody, Courtney Upshaw, Dante Hightower, Rolando McClain.
These are 5 names. Like, I'm a football bad.
Oh, I know them all.
Yeah.
Like, you got the Mark Barons, Marquise Johnsons, you got the Drake Kirkpatrick. I mean, me and Drake came at the same time, and he was one of the only freshmen playing.
But it was better than all of them, though. What's the first one you named? Marcel, to me, personally, he better than all of them.
Exactly. And didn't even start. Went
dog,
3rd
bro.
pick.
Yeah.
So that when you talk about somebody, who else was a dog? Marcel was a different dog too, bro.
Unbelievable. So, all right, cool. I got a list of backs for you. I got the top 8 Alabama running backs of all time. I need to know if you agree with this whole list. Okay, cool. So if y'all don't know about Trent, second most yards in the season all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You was number 1 till Derrick Henry came and took it. What was 1679 or 1670, something like that? 35 touchdowns in your career, 3,000, how many yards?
I don't know.
3,130, something like that, right? Cool.
Yeah.
So this is the list. You tell me. Number 8 is Eddie Lacy. Number 7, T.J. Yeldon. Number 6, Johnny Musa. I think that's before my time. Musso or something.
Johnny.
Number 5, Bobby Murphy. Number 4, Trent Richardson. Number 3, Sean Alexander. Number 2, Mark Ingram. And number 1, Derrick Henry. First, are you okay with your place? as number 4?
No, I'm not. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Where should you rank in this Alabama historical list I just named?
I definitely think I should be up there, top 2, maybe 3.
Yeah,
top 2, and I say that.
So better than Sean Alexander, basically. I gotta slide Sean down.
So listen, you and this is on a personal note for me, because if you look at this list, right, you look at all those attempts that those guys had.
Yeah.
It's way more than mine.
Yeah, Sean did not have to share the backfield. I give you that.
And then you look at how many games they started, it's way more than mine.
Right.
And then you look at how many games they finished, it's way more than mine. I only played 2 whole games my last year in school, and that was against LSU, both of the time.
Right.
So, and I love what Derek did, and I appreciate what he did. But I can't put Derek over Mark or me. And I say that because if you put Derek in a room with me and Mark, who are you going to start over?
Both of y'all. I love both. I love both of y'all to death. Like, listen, I do agree with you. You should be over Sean Alexander based on that. I wouldn't do it at first, but that just made the most sense. I do know you shared the backfield. Sean didn't. You get what I'm saying? So that is true. You rotated with Mark Ingram and then Eddie Lacy, right? Cool. Plenty sense. I definitely think you were better than Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram was consistent. I will give him that.
Mark gave me more of an Emmitt Smith vibe.
Yeah, he does. He's a very consistent player, very quality player. Yeah. But you were far more explosive.
For sure.
To me, I think you're more elusive than him, so I would take you over Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry, listen, brother, that is a whole nother animal. That is a freakish man, brother. Derrick Henry has, faster than you, right?
No.
Oh, come on, man.
I don't think he's faster than him.
And I ran a 4.37, man.
Now you might have, he must run a 4.36 then. I don't know. I never timed it.
No, I don't think Henry faster than him.
No, I ran a 4.37 on an average time with somebody else. Like I was a 10.31 in 100. That's
no, I know you got wheels.
Yeah, nobody is big and strong as that.
I'm not taking you. I'm not belittling nothing. I know
you might have been a 4.5 guy.
I know you're a whole dog. I'm not taking that from you though. But with the pads on, I'm taking Derrick Henry in the race.
No.
Over Trent Richardson.
You think so?
No.
He's taller. How tall? He 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
Derrick Henry got to be 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4".
No. So his stride longer with the pads on.
Take him longer to get up. No, man.
He ain't faster.
So you say you'll beat him in a 40, he'll beat you in 100?
No. Hell no. Hell no. 100?
Brother, you said it'd take him longer to get there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, you gotta. I'm 10-3 in a real track race.
Okay, who harder to tackle? You or Derrick Henry? Head up, harder. I mean, I will kind of give you more elusivity than Derrick Henry. But
harder
I think
to tackle, I would say, and I'm not being biased.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say me because Derrick is taller.
So because you're low center of gravity.
Well, I'm saying is because you can hit Derrick in the backfield and he's not gonna break that tackle because he got to get started.
Right.
But if you hit me in the backfield, it's gonna take 2 or 3 of y'all to get me down. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you grab Derrick, like you look at him now, even now, like he get hit in the backfield.
You got to stop him early.
Yeah, you got to stop him early. It's kind of harder to stop me. Right. But I hate that they don't even have Josh Jacobs on that list.
Another dog.
Yeah,
another underrated dog. I think he underrated in the NFL right now.
He really
I think he might be the top back in the NFL right now.
Yeah, to be for real, like on that list, like I think Josh might have been the only one that could have played with me and Mark on that list, other than Eddie.
Why are you doing?
Because I say this because I know more personal stuff because they had to teach Derrick how to hold the ball.
No, I understand that. But okay, you have to look at his high school career. High school, most yards ever. I think Buddy with the one arm just passed him. But that's I think they gave him like a chair, like he had handicap rules. So I think that don't laugh at that. I think that but. Like, Derrick had the most rushing yards in high school history. I think he had a 500-yard game or something in high school.
Yeah.
Then you get to Alabama and do what you did at Bama, right? Then just fast forward to Tennessee. Man, that man is ungodly at Tennessee, bro. Like, he is that's the best league of football we ever gonna have. Yeah. And look what he's doing, bro.
But listen. Yeah. All right, let's rewind that. When he first got to Tennessee.
Yeah.
It was first 3-4 years in Tennessee. It wasn't a Derrick. Everybody get rid of Derrick. And that's because the program wasn't fit for Derrick. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Like, if your program not fit for that type of running,
agreed.
Like, it's not going to work. Like even some of the best receivers, like, I mean, what was Marshawn when I was Seattle? He was Marshawn. He wasn't beast mode. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's what people got to look at. Like, I don't think it's a guy that you can be like, well, damn, he was just a bust. Nah, did your program suit him right? Because if you go to these hot teams, you go to the SARS teams in the league.
That was my argument with you. I said that had you got drafted later in a later round, you still be in the league. Sometimes
send me to Dallas.
you go to
That's where you were supposed to go, man. I watched that whole draft.
But the thing about it, you're a victim of your talent, though.
Yeah,
because
that's what we were just talking about.
You get picked in the first round to it. You get if you're not a quarterback and you go to the worst team in the league, you probably won't be in the league long because you go to a team that doesn't have a quarterback with no threat of passing the ball, and they go hand you the ball every time and expect a running back can't save a program.
Listen, we might well get into that though.
Yeah,
but before we go,
even
you're right.
on that, like
What?
Andrew Luck.
Some of his when he went to the wrong.
Man, Andrew Luck was getting hit 55. No, Andrew we was averaging throwing the ball 55 times a game, averaging. So that means we were throwing the ball 60 something times a game. And when I was in Indianapolis, he was getting hit 10 times a game. And so when I left, he was getting hit 25 times a game.
That's why he retired.
Yeah,
that man got out the way. Like y'all ain't gonna kill him.
Yeah, you in the wrong program.
Exactly.
You in the wrong program.
But before we go, because I'm gonna clip this. You betting than Derrick Henry? I'm talking about college.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I respect that.
And I say that.
And not even in a jealous guy. They just friendly competition.
No,
As a ball player, you're supposed to feel like that. It ain't no.
But I'm talking about like actual like stats. Like I love what Derrick. That's my little bro.
Yeah, facts.
But Derrick wasn't doing that on the team that we had.
Yeah.
Like, and not saying that team wasn't legit, but you're not doing that on a team with a Mark Ingram.
I do respect kind of how you view. Like I view him as Derrick Henry, but he view like, man, I played with him.
Yeah, right.
Like, look, this
and
my little homie.
So it'd be different. It'd be different.
Like he cold. I ain't sleeping on him, but I remember when he couldn't even hold her. You know.
Yeah, but I think that like I can't. Yeah. Like I don't even put. I don't think he would have played over Eddie.
Right. I just feel like this. I feel like this.
Don't do this, man.
This is why.
Because you're making me. I love Eddie Lacy. He's my favorite. Like
they
because I don't understand him.
Yeah,
like,
they wouldn't have had the time to teach him all that. Like he would have probably played linebacker when we was in school. You got to think we had Big Nudie over there from Mobile, Big Justin Fowler.
So it's different. So it's different if Derrick Henry was in the 5'11", 215 frame. He not Derrick Henry.
I mean, he got some God-given gifts that just.
He got
that's what I'm saying. That's what I think. Most of his advantages is just God-given. Right. Like he's just like
Eddie Lacy. Like Eddie makes no sense.
Derrick Henry could have picked up a football in college and been fine. Like never had played before. Just like we're gonna give you some stuff and you're gonna be good.
I never understood Eddie
But
Lacy.
I want to talk about your journey on the way there too, bro. Right? Just like what life is like for you, because a lot of and this may help a lot of other cats that come out of Pensacola that have made it. Like you got Emerson, you got Spoon finna go, you got Copeland finna go, and all of these guys. Hearing your story may help them. You feel what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of these guys feel like they have to save everybody and they mismanage a lot of things and they go. You feel me? They go and I was able to like witness your journey from high school all the way and through college. You feel what I'm saying? And like you said, I was real cool with your big brother, so I got to watch his journey too. You feel me? So I think, all right, cool. I want you to pick up like, all right, cool. College is over. You feel me? You know your first round pick, you feel what I'm saying? And you know the pressure that come with that. Like, what is your world like right now? You feel me? In that position, like, what is your thought process? Like, how is this going? You already, at this time, you already have kids. You feel what I'm saying? You already got a family that you got plans to take care of. Like, what was your thought process? Like, what was your method and of how you were going to do things? And if you could rewind, what would be your method now if you had to do it all over again?
Well, my method at the time was to keep everybody happy and to keep everybody a family. Not saying it was right, not saying it was wrong, but for me, that's how I grew up. Like I grew up around a lot of people, and so for me, my biggest mistakes was my heart, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing when you got a heart of gold, and people take advantage of. The yeses, right? And never took sight of the no's because it was never told no to them. And so because I felt like if I had it, you had it. And that's on a different level because you don't have to take care of everybody. You don't have to I had to learn how to tell my mama no when I got out the league.
That's big though.
And so when you're able to do that, like you can start looking at life different because people will go to my mom and ask her for something. And she'll come back and ask me for something. You know what I'm saying? And even with that, like my mom was staying with me, bro, in Cleveland, and I already bought her house, but I didn't know it was furnished. And I go over there one day just to happen to go check on something or something like that.
Right.
And the house fully furnished. I'm like, Mom, what you still doing at my house? But she was so used to being around family that she didn't want to be by herself. Or she didn't want to, miss out on, the love that's in the room. And so saying with that, like, it's not all bad, but you can't take everybody with you. Like you tattoo. Mm-hmm. You do a lot more than that. Mm-hmm. But what you doing, I can't come in and be like, hey, Bone, let me tattoo today. Mm-hmm. Or Bone, let's go to this tattoo convention and I'm gonna be the headliner. Mm-hmm. Or I'm gonna make some decisions for you when it comes to tattooing. Mm-hmm. Right. Or you can't sit there and tell me, man, Trent, you need to cut this way and cut that way. Mm-hmm. I know you scold, but you would have made it way easier. But like you're not looking at what I'm looking at. Like my journey is my journey. Your path is your path. And so what I had to realize, like, and Nick will always tell us this, like it's not worth the headache when it comes to if you mess it up, I can live with that. If I messed it up, I can live with that. But if somebody else messed it up, that's in my circle, and now I got to take up for them, or now I'm getting the heat for it, that's not fair to me. That's not fair to my kids. And that's one thing I had to realize. Like when I started breaking stuff down, I said, damn, these folks don't really care about my kids. Because if they did, they wouldn't even come. And now I'm not in the league. Mm-hmm. And they still come to me about this and that. And I'm living off money that I already made, not nothing I've got coming in. Mm-hmm. So I had to teach myself how to say no and get away from everybody. So my best thing for me was to go to Canada. Mm-hmm. And I say that because I got away from everybody. They couldn't be hands-on. Because the whole time I'm in Alabama, people come up for the weekend for the game, but they weren't staying the whole week. They weren't staying for months. Like they wasn't in my house. Nick protected us from all that. Right. And even when I got my house, when I got my place in Tuscaloosa, Nick would tell my mom, like, hey, you finna move off campus. I need you to check up on them. If you can't do it, I understand. But X, Y, and Z cannot be there.
Right.
They cannot come around. Mm-hmm. And he made it clear. And I ended up going third pick, bro. Right. Because I was protected by that. And I get to the league, and I'm not. And so you got a lot. I'm thinking about football practice might be done with maybe 1:32. Yeah. And look how much more time you get a kid who's never had anything.
Rest of the day, pocket full of money. Yeah.
And it might not be even him who like to spend like that, but now you got family around who's never had this, or but friends around who's never been mature to this, or you're trying to put people in places that never studied it or never had a piece of change. Yeah. And you're trying to get them to put in a position to where they can help start making their own decisions. But you're gonna have some slips and ups and downs in between too. So, okay, I'm gonna spend this on you. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna learn this. But now, hey, if you mess this up, you mess this up.
But is it unreal to you at the same time? I mean, because I understand it's unreal to family because they just really seeing it from the outside looking in. But, I mean, going third pick, I mean, I forgot what the contract was. It had to be 20-30 guarantee you third pick. Mm-hmm. So what is it like for you just seeing them kind of direct deposits come in? Because you go from, I know what it's like to have a job. I know what it's like to see a 2-week check come in and be something basic. And you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Y'all get direct deposits too, but they hitting different. Like you might have been seeing, I mean, I don't know what the signing bonus was, but I imagine a direct deposit for you might have been $200,000-$300,000 or something like that. You feel me? So how does that feel coming in, being that young, seeing that amount of money hit every Tuesday, every Wednesday? Just
man, it was so much. Like I looked at the first one, right? Mm-hmm. That was the last time I looked at my checks.
What was the first one? I'm curious. I got to know.
Yeah, I think it might have been like $5 million. But I didn't look at it no more after that.
Hey, can you imagine? That's wild. I just hit an account, bro. Like this for me?
Yeah, I think perspective helps, though, for these young guys who play football, right? And I think when people put it in perspective for them, they look at it a lot different, right? Mm-hmm. 5 M's is a lot of money, right? Yeah. To hit your account as a young boy. But you have to realize, just like I work at McDonald's or you have a job or whoever has a job, right? This is you working this job for 18 years and never getting a check. And then your check just comes all at once. And we think that, like, people treat it like you hit the lotto. Yeah. When this is money that you've been working for your whole life that somebody's just been putting up for you. It's like an insurance policy. You feel me? Like if something happens to somebody and you finally get the money when you turn 18, but it's been there the whole time building up. So it's almost like, bro, like when you get them 5 M's, that's back pay.
Yeah.
You feel me? This ain't like that's.
But it's hella back pay. Let's not act like that. It's generational change in money.
It is. But if I told you work 18 years for me You feel me? And I'm gonna give you $5 million on the 18th year, bro. If I work 18 years, I make more than 5 years.
Yeah, but the average person don't. The average person has worked and retired and made nothing close to $5 million.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is that if you add their money up, it's a good amount of money. So my thing is like even in my field, I'm a tattoo artist, right? Let's say I make $200,000-$300,000 a year, right? That's on paper, right? After 10 years, that's a lot of fucking money.
But the average nigga make $40,000 a year. You can add that up for however long you want to.
I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is that his job, what he was doing for a living, like it earned that pay. You going out here, you getting your fucking head cracked, you sweating every day, you working out every day, you doing all this. So
and they're underpaid.
And you're underpaid actually. 5 M's ain't enough for all you did. You got to think about all the money Alabama made off of you. You got to think about all the money Escambia High School made off of you. You feel me? So it's like 5
M's. That boy missed
them
NIL deals, but he came out too soon.
That's what I'm telling you. So no NIL deals. So 5 M's is petty change for what you've done. It's a lot of money, but so
it's
my
really
thing,
a slap in the face,
and it's no longer a whole lot of money when you have 1,000 people that you're trying to take care of, and you shouldn't be.
But you got to understand, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't. All that's accurate,
right?
But how old were you when you got drafted?
So that's what I'm saying.
20. Yeah, 20.
So being 20 years old,
you have no clue,
and $5 million hit your account, bro.
It ain't gonna stay there.
But it ain't. But that's got to be a different kind of day.
100%.
That's got to be a different kind of feel. Than to see 5 million hit. Like, bro, this real?
But that's why I say perspective matters, because if somebody comes along and explains to you what this 5 mil is and breaks it down to you, then you start looking at it a little different. You're like, damn,
that
I kind of.
That was the problem. I never had nobody put that in
perspective.
That perspective, like he just put it in.
Hey, bro, you work for this.
That young, like, this is yours.
Yeah,
like,
this ain't the lotto.
This is something that you really underpaid.
Yeah.
Like when I started, like, really, like, breaking down money, that $5 million turned into $500, and that's how you gotta learn how to spend your check. Like, hey, them $1,000 turn into a cent, like, cause that's how fast that shit'll go.
Facts.
Cause you living a life that make it disappear that fast.
Cause when no taxes out, that $5 million. That's
I didn't lost 100,000 in 3 months, and that shit was just like, what the fuck just happened? Right. You feel me? But it's because I built the life to make it disappear that fast. Yeah. You feel me? And then like when you get that 5 M's and you go get a house that's gonna suck some of it out of there, and you got friends around you that's gonna suck some of it out of you, and you got nobody around you to tell you, hey bro, maintain that same living standard. You feel me? Just like if you go watch Alfred's stories, Alfred's story, it's different. He drove the same car. You feel me? Yeah. And it's just like when he finally got his contract, it's like nothing changed. Right. But it's just like it had to be some type of influence around him or somebody around him that grabbed him and pulled him close and said, hey bro, like I tell every young athlete, I say, hey bro, if they got a girlfriend going into the league, I say, hey, take your woman, right? And find a veteran player, right? And take your woman and put your woman with his wife so they can explain what this shit is going to be like, and that'll save you a headache. She's not going to want to hear from you because it's going to sound like you trying to pave a way for you to do what you want to do. Yeah. You need to put her with a veteran's wife who has been doing this for a long time, and you need to get with a veteran player who has been doing this shit for a long time. That's why Udonis Haslem and guys like that are important on basketball teams, because they can pull you to the side and say, hey, young fella, this ain't what you think it is. Yeah. You feel me? Let me show you documentation. Let me show you evidence of how this shit can go. And you put your wife with them women so that way you don't get your fucking life ruined. You feel what I'm saying? That's like then you end up with a Savannah James versus a Brittany Renner. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Because you have somebody who's been groomed by other players' wives and people who are being in this circle. You feel me? So it's just like it didn't seem like you had that. It's like you came from a place to where you had homeboys trying to help you manage shit, and they ain't never had shit. Yeah, they had shit in your eyes. What you felt like was something when you was growing up. You was like, they didn't have money before, but not 5 M's. You feel me? They didn't have 50,000, 60,000. So it's like you feel like, damn, I trust them. They love me. They in my best interest. And you pouring out. I'm pretty sure you poured into a whole bunch of empty investments that never came to fruition. You feel what I'm saying? It's because like that's the worst thing you could do when And the richest man in Babylon, bro, that's one of the things they say, bro. Do not allow people who have not been in a position to guide your money, who are not professionals in the field to manage you or guide you on no shit. I'm not taking my money to a motherfucker that cut hair to invest in diamonds. You feel me? You don't know shit about diamonds. I'm going to somebody who know about that to invest my money. So it's just like, it just seemed like from my perspective, you were surrounded by a bunch of people that didn't have no clue on what to do, that had influence on telling you what to do. And before you know it, you're in a position to where like fucking like you losing. You feel me? You're losing. Yeah. So that's why I asked, what would you do different now if you had to start all over? Like, what would you advise a young player who's in your same position.
So if I'm talking to
first round,
TJ right now, my
gotcha,
son,
your son,
hopefully
yeah,
he go that far, or
he going,
either one of them.
Yeah, he going for sure.
If they want to play pro sports, right? Like I wouldn't have chose the agent I got. Like I got the best agent of all, the Jimmy Sexton, and he got Nick Saban. Now that's what sold me. He had Nick Saban. He had Tim Tebow. But I go back and talk to Bobby Humphrey while I'm out the league. He said, and I asked him, I said, why you didn't let Marlon Humphrey, his son Marlon, go with Nick, Jimmy Sexton? And he said, well, Trent, if you think about this, I played in the league, I've been around it. He said, but if you think about this, he said, man, who Nick Saban got? I mean, who does, Jimmy Sexton got? I was like, well, he got, Tim Tebow, Julio, he got Lane Kiffin, he got all these GMs in the NFL, all these NFL coaches, all these coaches around the SEC. He said, exactly. He said, man, if you get hurt or if something happen at your house or anything, whatever, guess who gonna take the downfall? You're gonna take the downfall
because he don't give a damn about you.
But if a coach, something happened to a coach, if they get fired or anything happen, they go do something crazy. They ain't gonna get fired. They're gonna go to the next job. Coaches' careers are way longer than players. Like
way more opportunities.
Way more opportunities. Like you can only play the game for so long. Everybody might not have a Tom Brady career. It's not possible to have a Tom Brady or the LeBron James careers. Like it happens once every blue moon. It's that once other blue moon.
You get 3 years, you're a lucky man.
For real.
Yeah, you get 3 years. You're lucky.
And I didn't understand that because I'm thinking I'm gonna be playing football forever.
Right. And that contributes to the way you move a lot too. Yeah. That's why you can take that first $5 million and blow it because you're like, I'm gonna be here. You young, you feel you in the moment, you don't see injury coming, you don't see none of that.
So you would have took a different agent coming out.
A different agent. I would have took a different approach of how I let my circle go. You know what I'm saying? Like I had people in power who's never had the power or never had the logistics to even, to count this or to handle that.
Right.
Or like I put myself in a situation and I'm a grown ass man. I can say I put myself. I can't point the finger at nobody else. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure.
But the thing about it is like I put myself in a place to where I was vulnerable to my loved ones.
So you have people in your circle that are controlling certain financial aspects of your life or doing certain deals based with your name, and they not familiar with any of that territory. But you trusting them to run this, but they have no professional experience running this. Yeah.
And what you do, and what I try to do, and what was going on, it really was going great at first. I had my people around Rich Paul.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting traded. And so from there, like we got to start all over. Learned how to rebuild again. Right. Yeah, like after my first year, like I get traded, and it's like, well, damn, like how did I get traded? I know I'm the best person on the field, but I got traded from a situation that happened in my house and had nothing to do with me, and I found that out years later.
Okay, let's talk about that because that was confusing me. I was looking up your Cleveland stats, bro. First year, 950 yards, 11 touchdowns.
With no line, no quarterback.
Exactly, and it's for Cleveland, which has a notorious record for being Cleveland, right?
I hated that move for you, by the way.
Because like you said, sometimes the programs you get drafted to. That's why I hate when they try to say that it didn't pan out well for you, but you look at Derrick Henry, he in a system that works for him.
Right.
You look at these running backs, they put you in a system that don't work for nobody. Hell, Cleveland don't work for nobody.
Like you say, Marshawn was in Buffalo and we didn't know who he was.
Right. Yeah. Cleveland hasn't worked for 1,000 other players, millions of other players. But 950 yards. The next year, how do you get traded being the number 3 pick? Like what went wrong? Like it had to be something.
So this I found this out years later, right? So a situation happened in my house. A girl was following my brother. One of the first girls that my brother met. He hit her. He knocked off. We one of the first girls that he ever met.
Right.
In Cleveland when we got there. But she, they was talking for a little bit and they stopped talking. And I said my brother started dating somebody, and he left her alone. Kind of find out she been following this man for 3 to 4 months. And we went to a spot to drop my to drop the ladies that we was with at the time off at this spot, and my sister was with them, and so the girl come up to the lady that my brother that was messing with at the time, and she says to the girl, she say, "Oh, I know who you is. you such and such, you with such and such. So my brother, and we don't know about this going on. Me and my brother, we at another spot. And so we get to the house. Everybody going their separate ways. It's time to go to sleep. It was after the Kansas City game, right? I hear my door open, and me and my older brother happen to end up being downstairs. We just chilling, we just talking, talking about the night, talking about the game, this and that. We just won, and I don't drink, so I'm sitting there chilling. I hear somebody come in. I just had TJ, my son. I got one of my coaches from Bama who came up to visit, and my whole family's upstairs. And so we hear the door open, and we see these two chicks come in our house.
That'd have been a positive for me.
Nah, bro, because my brother, he had his old lady upstairs with him.
Okay, that's not so positive.
Yeah, so we see these two chicks come in my house. My kid's mom is in the room. My sister, she's in the house and all this other stuff. And so I say, hold on, what you doing? F you, what the at? I don't mean the name drop. Where your brother at?
Yeah, we'll beat. Yeah.
We'll definitely beat that.
Yeah. Where your brother at? This and that. I said, what you talking about? I said, what you doing? You can't just walk in my house. F you and this and that. I said, man, listen, you tripping. My folks here. I know, my brother ain't invite you over. I know he ain't right. He has an old lady upstairs, my mom upstairs, my family upstairs. I got a coach up here, just had a newborn.
That's a big ass house too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people.
He just naming people upstairs.
I'm like, bro, what size house is this?
Oh man, Julio in the basement. I'm like, nigga, how many rooms?
Big ass house. Yeah, you got people upstairs and downstairs. So you got
that man named everybody. My mama here, my baby mama, the baby. God damn.
Kid's mom down in the basement part is another 2 or 3 rooms downstairs in the basement. So it's a pretty big house, right? And so as she's doing this, she done slammed my door open, almost broke the glass on my door. I'm like, man, listen, you tripping? We don't want no problems, man. I know my brother ain't invite you. Ain't nobody for do nothing crazy in my house, especially my mama them here. Like, ain't nobody, ain't no. I know he ain't invite you over here for that. And you got another chick, I ain't never seen this chick before. I don't really know who you is. Like, for real. Like, I done met you a couple times. Hey, bye, see you later. Type conversation. And she going off. And so, like, my brother, at this time, we done been home for a minute, so he upstairs sleep or whatever the hell they got going upstairs. You feel me? In their room, in his room. And so, I'm like, bro, you got to go, because I know, like, listen, I know my kid's mama, this is going to be ugly if she come out here and you doing all this yelling and stuff like that.
Her daddy wrestle.
Right.
Yeah,
right. And she don't play.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm instead of begging her, like, bro, you got to go. Like, come on, man. I don't want to put my hands on you. I don't want nobody to put their hands on you. Like, can you just leave? So it took about 30 or 40 minutes for her to get outside, bro. And all this is going on. And my coach is upstairs listening to this. So at the same time, like, my coach thought it was me and my kid's mom going at it.
Right.
And I'm like, nah, coach, that wasn't it. And when he found out what was really going on, and we fast forwarding it, but he was like, damn, like, I'm praying for you. Like that.
Don't tell me he prayed for you and then told on you.
No.
Yeah.
From him saying that, like, he kind of knew the next steps to everything.
Right.
Like, he, like, and this ain't, at this
How
time.
did this become a public thing, though, if this is happening at the house?
I'm gonna let you know. So we go outside, like, we finally get outside. She goes to the end of my drive, and I got a long driveway. She go to the end of my driveway. I'm in this nice neighborhood. She's blowing a horn. Come outside, this and that.
Boy, these women,
man.
It's regular degular. First, how did you get past the gate? You don't even belong in this type of neighborhood.
Man.
Like, that's some wild, bro. Like, it's got to be some regular
And
Cleveland hood chick.
that shit had to like really feel some type of way.
Got to be some, like, why are you even out? You don't even belong here, dog.
And this ain't even nothing you're doing. This ain't even no cheeks you had.
None.
You going through this by somebody else's cheeks. That's hot. Y'all been hot, bro.
Like, nothing. So hey, go wake up, bro.
Right. He got to
like,
come out here.
Out here and handle this. Like
Rich Paul at the driveway. What's going on?
Like, I'm talking about, bro, like, come on, you out here in these folks' neighborhood, you doing all this. Like, I'm the athlete out here. Like, everybody else is CEOs, owners, doctors type.
Right.
I'm like,
they don't
bro,
give a damn how many yards you got. You
It's so stereotypical to them too. Like, oh, this the athlete's house with all the arguing.
Right.
All the cars,
Mm-hmm.
like,
yeah.
and it's so crazy because, I mean, at the time, there's only 2 black families in the neighborhood. And we actually happened to stay right beside, like, his house over there is a little ways away, but his right beside mine. And so at the same time, man, like, she wouldn't go home. And so bro finally came downstairs. He came, you know, we got bro up and he came downstairs like, bro, like, what's going on? Like, bro, this your chick. Like, bro, what's going on? They're like, man, she hit me up. She was telling me that she would follow me. I didn't believe it. And we trying not to call the police. And the girl, like, she's so loud to where my kid's mom come outside now. And actually, she was being professional. She was telling her, hey, man, get in the car. I don't want this to get ugly. Now my little sister came outside.
Oh, shit. Too feisty,
man. And so the other girl that was driving, she's telling her, hey, man, pull off. Pull the hell off. Now, she's in the driver's seat. But at this time, like, they're talking crazy to them. Like, my kid's mom is still like, man, please get in the car. Like, y'all, I'm begging y'all. Like, this is not what y'all really want to do. FUB and all this other stuff. And now she's going at it with her.
Now you can't control this fire. This fire burning.
Well, there's a whole bunch of feminine energy for the tear down this kingdom. They don't even realize it's millions on the table.
And
get out
I'm
of here.
sitting there telling them, like, bro, can y'all please just leave? And at this time, my brother's outside. And he's telling her, like, man, just leave. You know I want nothing to do with you. I ain't talked to you in 4 months. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is not what we doing. And so I can't really, at that time, it's like I can't even blame bro because he wasn't even talking to her.
Right.
But he didn't know he was being followed at the same time.
Went too deep. You can't put all that thing in them folks, man.
But no
it goes
it
goes down to, you know, I'm by my car like bro, you gotta leave, like, please just leave. I don't want no problems. So the driver done try to hit me with she done put the car in drive and try to hit me with the car. So next thing you know, little sister, it's all ball game. It done turned ugly.
Oh man.
And they done got drugged.
Oh my God, yeah.
That should have been an away game.
But this is what happens.
Facts.
If we had just played in Kansas City,
it would have been all right.
And this is at the time Kansas City wasn't good.
Right.
Like, why are you even going out to celebrate this game? Like, that was even,
That's crazy.
And so
that's
this
a hell of a way to goddamn.
Bruh, and this is what happened. She called the police. And she say, I'm at Trent Richardson's house and such just happened. You can hear the police call on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube or whatever. And they say, well, ma'am, do you supposed to be at this house? It doesn't matter. I'm still at Trent Richardson's house. This isn't that to happen. And she said, was you invited? She said, no, I wasn't invited. But I still got beat up or this to happen at Trent Richardson's house. She said, well, ma'am, it sounds like you're trespassing. So the police pulls up. She done left. Police pulls up and say, I'm not going to tell you what to do. But if it was me, I would have shot her ass. And so all this goes on. She comes back and try to sue me for $700,000.
That shit crazy. And this was crazy. This go around the area where we be talking about when somebody makes accusations that somebody did something and then you found out they didn't do it, but you still lose everything based on the accusations. So it's just like, even though you did nothing wrong in this situation, the fact that it happened, the organization don't like it because they like, bro, you shouldn't even be in this situation. Too much attention. We don't even want to have to deal with this. Yeah, we know you're innocent, but you're making shit hot right now.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, bro, it's like a tail light getting you pulled over when you got a kilo in the trunk. Like, bro, like, it's just terrible, bro.
But even with that being said, I mean, I guess it's not like you need a Ray Donovan, number one. But number two, I just don't understand how I don't understand how the number 3 pick. Like, okay, that is something. You know, as an organization, you don't want that. But Cleveland don't have no stamp. Like, they're not like this great organization. But how you trade the number 3 pick? That had to hit you. That had to be a surprise.
And this is what they hit me with at first. It was like, man, you know, we're going to trade you. Well, after first of all, I got traded when I was inside the building. I didn't know, right? I didn't even know.
You was inside the Cleveland?
I just had a full day of practice.
That'd be so hot,
I was
man.
icing.
Yeah.
So I didn't know until I was getting ready to go home.
Yeah.
And so, and JoJo called me. He said, bro, you just got traded. I said, man, get off my phone, man. Stop playing with me. So I turned up I ain't really listen to the radio at this time. I turned up the radio and Trent Richardson just been traded to the Colts. And I'm looking like at this time my agent is calling, like, bro, like what the hell is going on? Like I'm just inside of it. We just had a great practice. And it was the talk of the week because me and Agent Peterson for the matchup for the first time.
Right.
And so that I was ready for the show for Adrian Peterson. Like I'm ready to see what he was gonna do.
Right.
Like I ain't even sitting down when it's time for the offense to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to see what bro doing. I'm trying to match his intensity. I want him to match mine.
Right.
And so I get that phone call and said, and when I finally talked to them, when I got to Indianapolis, they said, well, Trent, I ain't gonna lie to you, we can't help you here. We're gonna get you hurt because you already played last year, broke ribs. I played 12 games with broken ribs.
Who was just telling you this in Indianapolis? What?
At the time, he was, I don't want to say he was a GM because the guy that was a GM, like he was just a damn idiot. Like never played sports before. This damn big suit and tie.
Jim Irsay is he the real?
It wasn't Jim Irsay.
No, I'm just saying he the owner. He the real.
Jim
Irsay.
He's the real owner.
Yeah.
But they had got rid of everybody that drafted me, right? And Mike Holmgren had told him, Big Show, he was like, man, y'all will never be successful here. And I'm gonna tell you, when you trade him, you'll never be successful. That'll be stupid. Which they've never been successful after that. But I took that team from I think they was 2-14,
Cleveland.
yeah, to 9-8 season.
No, that's a fact though.
Like, but then I get traded. Now, stated, Andrew Luck went number 1. I get traded to an even worse situation, especially the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Like
they don't even run the ball.
Dog, our center was 270.
Yeah, that's me.
Ain't got no business snapping no ball.
He was 6 feet, 270.
That's me.
Yeah, ain't got no business snapping nobody.
I
nothing.
get killed out there.
Then we get to a situation where we go down 14 points every first or second quarter. Now we in the 2-minute offense.
Yep.
Like,
And so predictable on the runs. It's just like, all right, we're gonna run first down, right up the middle, no fullback, run you right into traffic and get you killed, and then start passing from there. It was ridiculous, bro. Just watching that was just like
if you look at if you ever
show.
pay attention to the game, like I didn't have bad games. Like I didn't have nowhere to run. Like I led the league and broke tackles the 2 years I was in Indianapolis.
That's a real Barry Sanders situation, bro.
Like,
I wanted you to go to Baltimore first before this, because I know
that's his type of team.
I wanted you to go to Baltimore from Cleveland. You feel me? And that shit didn't happen.
And it was crazy because
they wanted you to.
Yeah, they wanted me bad.
Yeah.
Like if I was to go to Baltimore or even Tampa or Dallas,
Pittsburgh,
like
they would have protected you.
Man,
They would have protected you.
Right. But that happens a lot of times in the NFL. Like, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people don't realize, like, everybody is making millions in the NFL. Everybody has a dream and a career goal set in their mind, from the GM to the coaches to the offensive coordinators. They got their own vision. And one of the hardest things for a coach to do, because they lifespan is short too, they get fired and dismissed and all this stuff too, though. So if I have a vision and my vision is to pass, I don't care that I got the number 3 pick running back in there.
Right.
I didn't draft him.
Right.
I'm new here.
I'm gonna do what,
and
what's gonna keep my job.
Fact, and the worst teams always get personnel in and out. They have no consistency, no
crazy
continuity.
about the Indianapolis situation. They went and got Andrew Luck, offensive coordinator from college. So all he knew was Andrew Luck.
Right.
Right. And I'm here for Andrew Luck. I'm not
That's
here for
it.
Trent Richardson. It don't mean nothing to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, like we be on the goal line, bro. I say, Pep, man, what's up? And like it's above my pay grade. Like
Y'all on the goal line, they play action. Like, bro, why are we in trips?
I've seen this shit. This is
This
happening in the
nigga
game.
I ain't finna get nowhere.
First and 1 on the goal is 3 wide receivers. Like, bro, what?
They got the box loaded. You ain't going nowhere. Where you
Crazy
going?
thing.
Right. And then they get to you like, wait, what am I supposed to do with that?
Right.
Nah,
And then they like, oh, he's underachieving.
Yeah.
Like you ain't putting, like, bro, you're not putting me in position to succeed. That's why I say all the time. I say, bro, there's not a running back in the NFL that wouldn't do well in a good system, in a system that's designed for him. Like most running backs, when you make it to that level, you can run the ball. There's niggas in the XFL that can run in the NFL right now if they in the right situation.
Yeah.
You feel me? But it's just like, bro, there's no running, like, for you to put it on a running back that has no quarterback and no line is insane, bro. Yeah. But I think also a lot of the times you'll be in a situation to where a team is already trying to move off of you and trying, because they feel like they should have did something different, and then you do some weird shit and they give them any excuse to kind of make a move on you and do something else, because that's the program you went into was known for not having any real structure.
Yeah.
You feel me?
From top to bottom.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's one of those things that, well, let's say for instance you were the 3rd pick, right? So it's like if things they see something like, let's say somebody else that they feel like they should have got, like let's say if they would have felt like they should have went O-line or quarterback or something, and you're doing what you're supposed to do, but they're still not successful, and then some weird shit happens on your end. It's like with being with somebody that you're unhappy with. Any excuse to break up with you is gonna be dope.
Right.
You feel me? I'll take it. You feel me? But as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, it's hard for me to break up with you.
Right.
So that's why I say like it's critical that when young guys get in position to be successful, that you do everything you can on your part for people not to have an excuse to get rid of you or do no wild shit. Because
is there anything personal? Because I've said this for years, even but this is my first time you and talking to you, but I've said this for years. The biggest thing that happened to you was you went to the wrong system. It happens to players all the time. You did not get to the league and just lose your skill. No. Bullshit.
I hate that narrative.
But, terrible narrative.
Yeah,
terrible. Because like you just said, the 2 teams you went to, Andrew Luck retired, bro. Yeah, he left the number 1 position, the number 1 highest paid position, say, bro, enough.
I can't do it.
I'm
no
dying
more.
out here.
And 900 yards in your rookie season is not a bust.
Exactly. 11 TDs.
No way possible.
And
right.
I
And then
really
the
made
next year you out of there.
the Pro Bowl. They turned it down because I had twisted my ankle playing against the Broncos. So they was like, man, we'll just wait until next year. Like, I got selected for the Pro Bowl. But we turned. I was up for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, facts. That's a fact, though. But personally, just now that reflecting, because you even talked about the people in your circle, you take personal accountability. Is there anything that you feel like, if you just take the part about the fact I was in a bad system, that you did personally that you feel like you should have done better? Like, was film study on point? Was, because being a rookie, all the things going on in your personal life, all the money, was there any more focus you could have put on football that you think could have changed a couple things?
Man, I think I wouldn't have took it so personal when I got traded. Like when I got traded, like I took it personal. Like I wasn't equipped for the business part of it. Like Coach will always say, it's a big business when you get to the next level. But I never took like real consideration of like, man, you can be here one day and be gone the next day, because I've always played the game for the love.
Right.
Like I wasn't getting paid in college. I wasn't getting paid in high school. How these kids are getting, able to get NIL money now. And so when I got traded, bro, like I didn't. That's almost like your wife cheating on you or a girl cheating on you. Like you can never look at it the same for me.
Right.
Like I can never, like I can forget it. I mean, I can forgive, but I couldn't. And at that time, at that young age, and when everything is going on, like I couldn't forgive or forget that situation. Like shit, I was in a place, and this is my second year in Indianapolis. I'm still asking them like, bro, why did y'all come get me? Like y'all ain't even using me, bro. We was averaging running, I think 2 or 3 times a game.
Do you think that personal feeling comes from football usually being a thing that felt like family your whole life before the NFL? Because in high school they make you feel like it's family. Yeah. You feel me? In college they make you feel like it's family, but in the NFL it's a little different.
Yeah, could that be star ego too though? Yeah. Everywhere you been, everybody love you.
No, but I had to work.
Time you being like, not that you didn't have to work, but it's the first time kind of like somebody saying, we don't really need them.
Right.
Nah, bro, they like NFL was doing some crazy shit. Like they'll mess with me. Like, bro, I was 226 with 4% of body fat. Like they wanted me to still lose weight. Like I can't. Like I'm trying. Right. Like I'm already not eating. Right. Like what else y'all want me to do?
Right.
I was coming in doing extra stuff. I was getting there at 4:30 in the morning, sitting up there at the complex, just sitting in my car trying to beat Reggie Wayne there, and let him know like, bro, I was fully locked in. And so even with that, like it just wasn't like they wasn't tapped in into paying a running back. I mean, think about the Colts organization. On the running back that you can say they didn't really had come through was Adrian James, and he still never really had over 1,000-yard season like that.
He was still a gadget guy in a sense too. He ran the ball, but it was like a lot of passing. That was the passing back was like a big thing for them, like passing out of the backfield.
Like I took a lot of stuff personal though, like because even when I was talking to the GM one time, like and I really wanted to whoop that boy.
Yeah.
Like, and I say, boy, and I don't call no man boy, but I wanted to whoop that boy. That man had said something about you dead to me.
Which one? The Cleveland
from
or
Colts?
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't play for nobody like that.
So that was like the more toxic situation. Cleveland wasn't really a toxic situation.
No, it
wasn't. I would have thought Cleveland would have been a toxic situation.
I feel like if I was still with Cleveland, bro, I might still be playing right now.
Right.
But like, cause Cleveland, for me, Cleveland wasn't a bad place for what they was doing with me. Like they was able to hand me out my first year. They was handing me out the ball, and they had somebody that was catering around to my game. In the second year, we got they fired everybody for the second year, so we had to learn another playbook.
That be the thing, bro.
Problem,
them sorry teams get rid of everybody. It's like all new people. And we don't care what happened last year.
Right.
At all.
Right. Yeah. I got a new vision. And if you don't fit in it, hey, bro, we ain't pick you.
And so I had to learn 3 playbooks in 18 months.
Yeah. And I think another thing with you in Cleveland, too, is that when they paying you a lot of money, in Cleveland, the motherfucker who getting paid the most be the first one to go.
Oh yeah,
a lot of the time.
Yeah,
and those terrible systems is usually the person we paying the most got to go, because this is not about winning. It's about managing the finances. We trying to make money over here. We don't really care about winning.
But you can even think about Holmes' career. Like Trent was literally, I think when you got drafted, like the league was literally in process of changing to what it's changing to now. Heavy passing, running backs only making $10 million, and this is a rookie coming out with a dub, a 30, whatever the guarantee was.
And you was the highest drafted running back in a long time.
Like you can count the backs.
That's the highest. Ain't nobody went that high since you.
Saquon just went 3. No, Saquon went 2 or 3.
I don't know what he went though.
I don't think he went.
But even talking about Saquon, like they was just about to get rid of
him too.
And
it's the same situation.
It's
the same situation.
They were trying to get rid of him.
You can count the backs. It's literally Trent, Le'Veon Bell, not even draft, just payment. Trent, Le'Veon, what's my boy from Dallas? Zeke. And they trying not to pay.
They're trying.
Saquon.
Yeah, they gave Daniel Jones a contract before him.
Fact. So you can count the backs where they made that heavy paper that was counted that much against the salary cap. They was trying to get away from that. You know what I mean? So you coming in being drafted number 3 was a feat in itself. Wish you had went to Dallas, like you said though.
But once they traded up, bro, like I knew.
Yeah.
Like I knew, like they were going, like they was coming to get me.
Who was there? Who was there?
So it was the Colts, it was the Redskins, and then it was Minnesota. I think it was Minnesota. Yeah, it was Minnesota. Then I think it was Cleveland. They traded up one spot to get me. Then it was Tampa, because Tampa was saying that if you still on the board, we're getting you. Yeah. They're gonna give me a Mark Barron. They ain't gonna get Mark Barron because he was still on the board. And they traded up a spot, and I was like, and I told my mom, she just put her head down. I said, "Mom, I'm mic'd up. She said, "Damn." She put her head down.
That's a hell of a spot to be in, though, bro. I wouldn't. I know you was kind of like, fuck, boy, I want to go high, but
yeah, and that's what I ask kids now. That's what we were talking about on the show the other day. Like, bro, like you damn near almost get punished for being great.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Like, you expected to bring a franchise back who been terrible forever,
and it's impossible to do that from the running back position. If Barry Sanders couldn't do it, nobody could do it.
Real talk.
Yeah, nobody. I can't think of a running back that changed the franchise.
It's too hard. It's too much of a dependent
especially
position.
in a year or two. Like you can't. No, like, it's not.
You can be impactful, bro, but you're not gonna change your franchise, bro. Like Emmett didn't even change Dallas. It was the shit around him, the offensive line, the quarterback, Michael Irvin, shit like that is what opened it up for Emmett to be Emmett.
Best offensive line of all time.
You feel me? So it's just like if you ain't got that, and the worst team in the league usually ain't gonna have. If you drafting high, you ain't got no line.
Yeah.
Because the offensive line and the defensive line, if you watch football and you're a real fan of the sport, those are the positions that matter more than anything. And if you ain't got those, bro, you usually gonna be picking first. And I wouldn't want to be a running back going to a terrible team.
At what point did you realize it's a wrap? At what point were you realizing they not calling? I think I'm gonna have to take some other steps in my life. I think this NFL journey has come to a close.
Man, you know what? I had ended up getting picked up by Baltimore, and I was killing out there in the summer, right? And they was like, they signed me, and they knew I had a knee problem. So I ended up having to get surgery, and they paid for the surgery and everything, and they thought I was gonna be able to sit down for like 3 to 4 weeks and make it back, for spring. Not for spring, make it back for the first preseason game and stuff. But it had got so bad because I was doing so much on it, training and out there with them. So I had to sit down for like 16 weeks. And so with that, man, like I was just talking to Coach Saban about it, like, man, it's not bad going a Canada route. And so at that time, I needed to go out there because not just for football, but for life situations too. Mm-hmm. Like, and when I went out there, and I had to, I'm staying in somebody's basement. I'm renting their basement, and so I had to. A lot of shit came to light for me. Like, man, bro, like ain't nobody calling you, ain't nobody checking up on you. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody pulling at your tail right now, because you're not the hottest in the street no more. Mm-hmm. Like you like, and and at the time I was dating a female that had to like really break this stuff down to me, because she was like, when you talk about, females, you talking about your wife, you done messed up on your wife and now she ain't giving you no play, but you got these little hoes over here that's liking you and they need you, or they want to see what you can do for them.
Right.
Okay, you can go mess with them. And she was talking about putting that in the perspectives of the other leagues. Like, it's okay to venture off a little bit and get back right. And when you get back and come back with your 10 toes down when you come back over in this household now, because anything you did outside of here, that shit don't matter.
Stay out there, yeah.
Like, even from college football, like when you get to the league, like none of that stuff matter. Like, you got to be able to come foot forward. Like, if you don't, bro, like it's gonna really rip you up. But like for me, I went out there and killed out there in Canada. Then I came back. So when I'm coming back, a lot of other stuff done happened. I ain't seen my kids, this and that. I finally ended up getting my kids almost a year later.
Right.
And so with that, they started this league called the Lions League. And Birmingham was one of the spots that they wanted, to have a team. So of course, I go to Coach Saban and say, hey, Coach, what do you think I need to do? I said, man, hey, Joe Pendrick is the GM over the team, which is my offensive line coach at Bama. And he say, man, you should go out there, and I think you'll have a real shot. Go out there, kill the Lions. And the week before the last week of the football season, they killed the league.
Yeah.
And I'm leading in touchdowns, rushing yards, almost receiving yards. I'm the face of the program of the league, not even just the program of the league. And they kill it. Like something happened in the front office, and that. Then go out for the XFL stuff and go out to the trial. I wasn't even supposed to be at the combine. I go out there, kill the combine. Then you get guys that say stuff like, man, I feel like we got a couple of players that's better than Trent. Andrew Luck dad.
Right.
Which I think he got something against me because
of what happened.
But it was just like, bro, like, I've got phone calls after that, even to play back in the league, but it had to be the right situation for me. Like, I'm not going nowhere up north, and I want it to be something close to the South or at home. But at home for me, it got to be in the South, like, because my kids, like they ain't never really had some true friends or developed, relationships around. And so, like, getting my kids full time, it opened up a lot of different things for me, like, as far as, like, community, the environment I want my kids around. Like, they can't, like, I never wanted my kids to be the military kids.
Mm-hmm. They move everywhere.
And don't develop no real friends, don't know how to be social, especially now with everything being on the internet. Like, you say certain stuff to kids, they don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, and I've always been the guy to protect them. I had my first child when I was 15. So she was pregnant when I was 14. So that's all I knew was protect my baby. So a lot of people are like, man, what you gonna do? Man, listen, if it ain't the right number and if it ain't in the South, I ain't gonna.
How old are you now?
32. I'll be 33.
You still stay in game shape? Like, do you still train as if like anybody could call you right now? Like, I'm ready. You think do you think you could still like be effective in today's league?
In today's league,
yeah.
I kill today's league because ain't nobody trying to hit nobody big like me.
All right.
They're gonna be around for another 6 years, and Josh Jacobs will kill for another 10 years because ain't nobody gonna hit nobody running like that.
Right. Yeah, and I think the rules are set to protect, to kind of preserve careers a little better. I think you were coming along when everything was shifting, like you said, to where everything was kind of.
You gotta think about it, bro. They set a rule because of me.
They putting their head in the crown of your head.
They said they made that rule because
you ran, buddy. Who that was you ran over? I remember that shit on ESPN.
They called it the Trent Richardson rule. It's a real thing.
Man, that man put his head down.
Man, that dude was talking so much shit, bro. I said, I got you.
I thought that was crazy. How can you make a rule that I can't put the crown on I'm the runner?
Right.
Like, I thought that was crazy.
Yeah. But I just want to say personally, bro, that I think it's funny how a society of people who have achieved nothing can look at somebody who has won 2 national championships in college. You're going to be in Alabama Hall of Fame if you already ain't in it. You go 3rd round in the NFL draft, which very few running backs have ever done in history. And you have a bunch of people around here that have achieved nothing.
to have an opinion about you and say that you failed at something when there's no such thing as being a failure when you've had those type of achievements and done those type of things. And it's just crazy to me. It reminds me of how broke people to sit around and have a conversation about other people's money and argue about millionaires' money when they'll never touch that type of money. That Drewski skit was so on point. When
that's what humans do best, bro.
That's what they do. So I just want to say personally, bro, I think you are a legend. It ain't what I think. You are a legend, bro. You've done more than most people will ever do in 10 lifetimes. You feel me? Some motherfuckers can die and come back 10 times and still not do the things you've done, bro. You've been on stages that people dream of being on, bro, and you've had experiences that people should be trying to tap into, and like to even be able to have you on here and tell your story or just talk to us I'm honored for that, because you could have been anywhere, and it's just that we've never had anybody of that caliber on this platform.
That's a fact.
And I think that shit is super dope. And I'm just happy that I know you on a personal level to be able to, you feel me? And I take pride in that too. But that is dope. And I'm gonna tell
people I'm stronger than you. Nah,
it
took me a while.
That was the question I was gonna ask. I was gonna be like, damn, bro, like I can
run Trent over right now.
Oh,
no.
I can tackle him. You want that tackle Trent?
Oh yeah, before we go, 5 minutes, bro. You can whoop Roy, bro.
I know. I've been telling people. No offense to, I love Roy Jones, bro. That man is legendary. That man is one of the GOAT at his sport. He was the Michael Jordan of his sport. It is no diss. I'm just simply talking about that man is 60, and if he want to fight outside, I'm a whoop bro.
Yeah, not like street fight or in the ring.
Just street fight. No, I wouldn't get in the ring. See, that's what I'm saying. I respect him. I would never get in his territory and ever disrespect that man in no kind of way.
I think you can get a lick in the ring, though. You ain't going to win, but you can get a lick.
I'm going to be out of breath, though. He'll just take me to the deep end and drown. Listen, I ain't going to make it, bro.
Yeah, bro. I watched him. What was it? I watched the fight last night, bro. What is impressive, though, bro, is for him to be 54 years old and be able to go 8 rounds. Period.
That's what I'm saying. He'll drown.
It's insane.
Man, I can't make it 8 rounds.
But it's something to say for like I say, I do believe that legacy is set in stone, right? Mm-hmm. What you did is what you did, right? So for you, even just like when you left Alabama, there's nothing you can do in the NFL that would affect your Alabama career. It's done. You feel me? When you got drafted 3rd and you went and you played for Cleveland, like that's legacy. There's nothing you can do after that. You can go play for the goddamn the Brent Raiders, you feel me? The Hensley Chiefs or whoever.
At the end of the day, I was 3rd pick in the NFL draft.
Your legacy is your legacy. But I will say this though, your legacy is also when you retire from the sport. Your legacy is also something you stand on to profit financially, right? You can also, and you have to understand that a lot of people who are watching you now didn't get to witness your legacy. Like my son is 15. He don't know who you were. Right. All he knows is what you're seeing on TV right now. But my son is someone you still have to sell a product to. You feel me? So if I'm Cox Cable or somebody and I want to call you to advertise, I can't call you because you've ruined the legacy for the audience I'm trying to sell.
That's why Jordan will never play one-on-one on camera. If you dunk on me, I'm not Jordan no more.
Right. That's why I say his career with the Wizards, I'm glad it was short. Because the longer you play with the Wizards, the less we remember Mike from the Bulls.
Facts.
And I think that's why guys like Kobe retired. Like, bro, if I'm not gonna be the best, I'm not doing this shit.
I can't just come off the bench.
When LeBron, I guarantee you, when LeBron is no longer in the top 5 of best players,
I gotta go.
He out of here.
So how long, and this is a question for both of y'all. How long do y'all think LeBron got?
3 more years.
I think he got 3 more years of him being the top 5 player, and I think he's gonna fade to black because he understands that my legacy is my financial. That's how I'm gonna keep myself alive. Like that's why guys like
they're gonna get Dame next year.
That's why I like the way Andre Ward, I think that's his name, ended his career, the boxer, ended undefeated. You feel what I'm saying? But now he lives in his legacy, bro. He ain't gotta never fight again. They gonna call him for commentary. They gonna call him for opinions because, bro, you undefeated.
Yeah,
you feel me? Yeah. When Floyd retired the way he retired, it was beautiful. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Because now nobody can take that legacy from you, bro. You feel me? So I just hate to see guys like go out there past their legacy. It's like you got to know when to hang it up for you, bro.
Facts.
For you.
Roy fighting bodybuilders. He finna fight the Instagram bodybuilder.
Like bro, you fought Anthony Pettis, bro. Like this, his first professional career. You give him like people like that shouldn't even be close to you.
Thank you.
That's like a girl. That's like a fine bitch giving me some pussy. That's like Beyonce giving me some pussy.
Yeah.
That didn't help you.
Facts.
You feel me? Like that just made you less invisible. Like we looked at you like an icon, bro. And it's just like, damn, you fuck buddy. You feel me?
Right.
Okay, buddy, some pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
You stop. So every time you get in the ring with a clown, it's like you giving a sucker some pussy. Like, what are you doing, bro? So for me, and it's just like I hate to see it, and I think that's why separating your ego from shit is important, bro. Like, you got to know when to fold them, and you got to know when you're not that dude no more. It's the same shit you talk about getting away when you're training your kids. Like, I'm not training my kids like I'm still the best player ever no more. I'm an old man, bro.
Right.
I understand that. You feel me? So it's like I have to step into that with grace, bro. And it's just like he ain't let it go, bro. Okay.
I know we got to go. What makes you think you stronger than me?
Because I am stronger than you. Listen, we can go to the gym right now. I mean, you got to get on the road.
What makes you think that?
How much you squat right now?
He said that like the guy.
How much you squat right now?
Ain't no telling. I know the most I've done is 900.
Yeah, but first of all, you ain't never squat no 900 pounds. They weren't real weight.
I got 700 on video.
Yeah, I can squat 700 right now. That's probably the top out. I'm topping out.
But
right now,
I was doing that at 21.
Yeah, but now you 32. Them bones change.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I know we got to go.
He said, what makes
right
you
now,
think
I can squat 700 today. Right now, I can bench 550 today. You can't bench. I'll bench 550.
I did 575.
When?
I was 21.
I'm not talking about.
No, you said you.
I'm talking about today. No, I'm talking about right now.
No, I've never did it more than 575, and I wouldn't. I don't know if I can do it today, but I know I still lift the same far as repetition.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is today. Yeah, I ain't trying to.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I ain't. Man, you third pick in the draft. I don't want no smoke. Yeah, I can't do that with 22-year-old Trent Richardson. Yeah, I was sorry at 22, but today, hey man, I got
stronger than him today.
Yes.
And you think you can hit me though?
That might be pushing it. I ain't gonna disrespect you. Nah, your face still young. I ain't gonna try. You got good teeth. Everybody right through.
He said you got good teeth.
Hey, but listen, man, thank you for coming on, man. Thank y'all for tuning into Anxiety Issues Podcast. Trent, we gotta have you back and invite me on your show, bro. What's the name of your show before you go?
The Roast with TR3, man. And our podcast part of it was the Hometown Heroes, man. So I'd love to have y'all on there anytime y'all can, bro.
Let's do it. All right, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time.